Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, one of the best ARs ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the game. Give it up for the world champ, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-champion, the multi-world champ, a legend and icon to the Call of Duty space. Give it up for Patrick Price Aches. And then, of course, we got the one and only, the executive producer of The Flank. Give it up for Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, what's going on? How we feeling? Ben, we'll start with you. You look like $1 million over there. What's going on, Benjay? How you feeling?
I mean, I'm wearing the Spurs shirt today. Big victory yesterday in the Europa League. We got the Knicks in the playoffs starting tomorrow, Tom. Unfortunately, the matches were snooze today, but, you know, we're here. We're going to have some good vibes, answer some community questions.
Yeah, we got some questions for the end of the show. I mean, I figured we'd do something, right, just because the matches were pretty quick today. But we're still going to go through them, give our thoughts, and we're going to take a look at tomorrow's matches as well, because we got some good matches coming up. But, yes, today was a very quick day. What about you, Duarte? How you feeling? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just excited to get to the major next weekend. Got a couple more days here of online matches, and then, you know, things are going to start to get spicy when we go to that. Well, we're not going, but we're going to be watching that Miami tournament. So excited for that.
Yeah, for sure. It's right around the corner. Actually, we just got everything booked for the Stallions, so super excited to watch the Stallions compete in the Challengers bracket. We'll see if they can make any noise there. I'm actually excited for Challengers. See kind of what's going down over there. I know it's getting kind of close to the pro point race for like champs and obviously EWC too. I want to see the Challengers team get back in there for EWC. But what about you, Pat? I see you yelling at the crowd again.
Yeah, you know, just talking to some folks. Just been a busy time, but hustling time. You know, we're hustling. I gotta get back into the COD history streams.
Yep.
We're still at Ghost Champs. But yeah, otherwise, talk about this snooze of a day.
Champs.
Yeah, that's where we stopped. We stopped at Ghost Champs.
He's got to get back into it, Pat. They missed the Slay streams, man. They're trying to get in there.
It's only been a few days, but it's just, you know, been busy. But we're gonna get back into it, and then yeah.
It's good, man. Good, Pat. Good to stay busy. What about you, Sam? You doing all right?
Good as always, man. Good as always.
Yes, sir. Looking good. Your boys look great out there today. We're going to talk about it, but we're not going to waste any time. We only have 3 matches to cover, and, man, were these 3 matches quick. Probably one of the quickest days of the year. Let's swap on over and get right into it. We start things off with the Toronto Ultra going up against the Miami Heretics. This one ended in a 3-1 victory for Toronto Ultra. The only map that Miami was able to take was the S&D in a map 2. That one went down to around 11. We did have a close map here in the Volt Hardpoint. The map 1 was 250 to 240. Toronto able to close that one out. We had a 3-1 Volt control. And, of course, a 250 to 190 on the Protocol Hardpoint. We'll take a look here at the stat sheet. We got Benjamin Beans with a 1.0. We got Kleenex with a 1.16. Insight with a 0.99. And Jodeci's with a 1.12. On the other side, Metals with a tough series here today. A 0.64. 100 deaths in the series. Metals really struggling. But then you got a 1.07 from Real, a 1.12 from Rancor, and a 0.98 from Super today. We'll scroll down, take a look at the match MVP. It's going to be Toby Kleenex with a 1.02 in Hardpoint, a 1.38 in Search, and a 1.56 in Control. We'll go from the bottom up here. Sam, we'll start with you. What'd you think? Toronto Ultra versus Miami. Close series to start off, but then Toronto kind of ran away with it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I picked the Miami upset here because I had a bunch of Vickle middle finger gifts in my mentions since I hadn't been picking them, and of course they let me down as soon as I do. But I think the story of the series is Kleenex and Metals. I think Miami goes as far as Metals goes, and on the side of Toronto, Toby's actually been playing really well recently. I think like the last 4 or 5 matches or so, I feel like he's like starting to creep up the power rankings for players a little bit. He's been on one, but mainly, I'm kind of just disappointed in the Miami performance. They had a great stage so far up to this point, and to see Metals kind of revert back to where we kind of not usually see him because he's not always this bad, but just watching Miami play like this is kind of frustrating because you know that their team could be way better than they are.
Yeah, it's just like some days you watch them and you're like, wow, these guys are disgusting, and then some days you're like, oh man, what the fuck is going on over here? Right?
If his middle ground was a little bit better, this team could be like Sunday consistence, genuinely. I think his bad series are just unwinnables is the problem.
I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, Ben, we'll go to you next. I mean, what did you think about the series? But Metals is just like, bro, his lows are so low and his highs are so high. I just, like, I don't understand how he can't find a balance. But what did you think, Benjay? What are your thoughts on the series?
I thought this was probably the more fun series of the day, and I think to echo Sam's point, like the frustrating thing is I feel like if Metals had kind of had a better performance today, I think we could have gone Game 5, and with that rewind, I'm not really sure who we would have gotten. I think for Toronto, they're kind of really in flow now. I don't know what happened at Boston series, but potentially they could have been 4-0 this split, but they're going to chill and have a pretty high winner seed. I think for Miami, I think they showed a lot of promise going into this series. I still am kind of high on them going into the event, but want to see a better rebound tomorrow against Minnesota.
Yeah, what about you, Duarte? What are your thoughts? I think you're muted, Chris. Can't hear you.
Son of a bitch. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Anyways, Miami, yeah, they just didn't look like they did the last couple of the last week. I expected them to play better. They had, some close matches, but at the end of the day, Metals, again, the story with him, just he's still not turning around the narrative. I thought that maybe he would because he looked phenomenal last weekend. But again, just kind of falling back to that crappy performance. Real, Rencor, again, the stars of the show for this team. No surprise there. He played all right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to keep up the consistency and that expectation that he had from the last weekend. But I think mainly the story here is Kleenex, dude. That guy is fucking unreal. I picked him in my fantasy for a reason. I actually got 2 Toronto players and 2 Miami players here, so it's unfortunate that they had to go against each other and fight for my points. But I'm not mad with the way Kleenex is playing, man. I love this Toronto team. I was a fan of them when the season started. I said that Beans would be criminally underrated because he now has good teammates, but Joe Deceives kind of stole the show away from him. But I mean, Toronto, they look good.
Yeah. What about you, Pat? What's going on with Miami, Pat? What's happening over here?
I mean, this is a reason that it's hard for me to get high on these guys, bro. They have someone who is literally so hot and cold. He's either the absolute overperform, godlike in the lobby, or he's the worst player in the CDL. So I think it's going to be tough for Heretics to maintain any baseline with someone who's playing like that, who's just so up and down. But on the flip side, I mean, yeah, Toronto's looking good, and we talked about this before. This is where you want to hit form, right? Like this kind of spring going into summer of the year, when you have these back-to-back major big events, and we get the champs and obviously now EWC. But they look great. I mean, I think they're right now, obviously you're going to say FaZe, but from what we've seen, the front runners for winning this event, based on the online, what we saw. So yeah, they look great. Kleenex continuing to play at peak level, but yeah, just again, I don't know what Miami's supposed to do when they have somebody who is just so hot or cold on the map.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Toronto is when Kleenex and Jodeci's are both playing well at the same time, they're insane. Right? I think that's the biggest thing. If I actually think this can probably be a contender to winning Major 3 with the way that they're looking right now, and I think a lot of it just kind of rides off the subs. I still like seeing Insight hit a go button. We see glimpses of it, right, Sam? We talk about it in the watch party, where we see glimpses of Jamie starting to pick up the pace and starting to get active more. I guess that's just kind of his role. I guess it's just kind of how he plays, but he's kind of been the same player for years now. But I generally think, do you guys think Toronto can win this event? I think they can win this event if they keep playing like this. They look really good.
I mean, the only thing I will say for Toronto is that their control this split has been a little bit iffy. They did win one today, but they hadn't won either the previous matches. Obviously, the Boston one, I guess, is a little bit of an asterisk. And I think, and I'm going through the math right now, I think they've only won. No, their S&D record this split's also a little bit iffy, but they're 6-1 a hard point. So I think the only thing is just continuing to bank on that respawn map pool and obviously try and win your key searches on land. But I kind of agree with everybody. I think this Toronto team plays the way they play now. Plus, we saw the land form at the last event. I do think they can make a final. Could they win against the Thieves or FaZe?
Yeah.
The map pool, I'm not sure, but I think these guys are capable of definitely getting there.
Yeah, what about you, Pat? You think Toronto can maybe win the event? I mean, do you think they have the potential to do so, or what do you think? Or do you think the other teams are just too strong, like FaZe and Thieves?
I think they have the potential, but it's can we rely on Kleenex to play, and even Joe to play at this level through the whole weekend?
I
know
we
that's
can.
not an insane thing to
think
say because it's not that many matches, but it's they really rely on these guys to be dominant as they've been the last few games. So, but yeah, I mean, I think they have the talent to do it. It's just can they be consistent enough?
Right. Duarte, you got anything to add before we hop into maybe some clips here? This is the only series I really have some clips to take a look at. So the other two
No,
series.
I think we covered everything.
All right, bro, you're good. All right, let's hop into some series here, or some clips here, and see what's going on. We start things off here on the Vault Hardpoint, and we take a look here at just the P3 to the P4. I just wanted to highlight kind of Joe Thieves here, because this is just where he really kicks up, and where Toronto start to take the lead. You can see Joe just kind of roaming the middle of the map. We know how important this P3 hill is to just kind of roam middle and get mid-map control. I feel like once you get in these kills mid-map, you can kind of just work through mid-cut and kind of finesse here. And that's what Joe does, right? Just kind of finessing middle. He's going back and forth. He's sitting on a 4 spree. And not only is he getting the kills, but he's also working the time. Just working in and off of the time. I think if you're Miami, and I kind of want to ask you guys this, because we see a lot of teams, they don't really take routes. I mean, you see Metal's doing it now, but do you think it's better to just play through this P3 hill? I know a lot of pro teams like to play through it rather than taking routes around and trying to like flip for P4. I see a lot of people just try and just like get kills and push through and block the art spawns rather than just take some routes around. But you can see kind of how Toronto puts them in a blender here. What do you guys think? You rather push through it, or you rather try and take some routes and play for a flip?
I think you gotta do both, but I personally just like one person playing top ammo, and he's just basically covering the right side, keeping them on one side of the hill, and he's basically just giving you information, right?
Yeah.
Because he can see if there's a guy B control, that means like he's probably watching Vault. He can see where the guy's on the hill, and then everyone else should just go mid. And because since there's 2 secondary spawns, that guy being ammo doesn't really matter, because as long as you get out towards B control after you get kills, they'll flip and spawn next to him on the left side of ammo, because there's 2 spawns there.
Yeah.
So I personally just think you send one guy ammo, he feeds you information, everyone else just flood mid and try to block B control. You do that, you flip, and then you give yourself an opportunity. But I feel like if you just hit the front of the hill, you're leaving yourself exposed, and you're probably taking the hardest route to actually flipping.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
For sure. We do got a listen in here from Toronto Ultra. I say we tune into the listen and see how the boys are sounding. This is a close map 1 here. Let's see what the boys are common like.
Backscap, Jimmy. You went back on you, okay?
I mean, I'm still 1 scapped a week.
It's good.
Good old. Super now.
Could be dubs.
Okay, I'm on that. He's on the G.
Don't bullet, he is indeed.
Ready, Sam.
Yes, he went default.
1 scapped, 1 ready. Go, give me a plan.
I'm getting out, bro. I'll get absolute. One more in open. Cut that real.
Hold on, I'm going right. Give me a
Time.
Where's their cat open, Joe?
Can't win single.
I lobby, you're good.
Con, middle, can
Can I talk, Jimmy? Outside time.
What's the time?
I'm dead. Can you stay up? I'm trying. Pause one double. Close, one shot. They're open. They're free into what's time. Mid open. He's open side. No one plans.
I'm looking cat. Yo, our close on him once.
Man, come right now.
Close.
Close, we're playing con.
Open that.
Still con.
We went right.
Pick it up. I'm challenging.
Open up in next.
I'll get cat.
Jam 1 shot. Keep trying my house. Yo,
Come on, get us, man.
coming.
Let's go.
Plants as well.
Coming.
One more top cat. Look cat.
Nice shot. Back up.
I'll back up.
Round was cat. That's up for a sec. I'm looking left.
I'm a clever
Let me
right
offer.
here.
No one left.
Nothing shot you right.
Two cat. Give me a sec. I'll pinch you low pool. One's on the right. Get up, cat.
Pick up the right.
I'm single armor now.
I see that's on the right.
Cat step Single, three left, boys.
Hold on, I have front time.
He's hit front.
Down dead. Push again, weak, 1 out palms. One lobby.
I have a shoot. Give me a second.
Palms,
I'm waiting for them
I heard
to
you. I'm wait.
palm one.
I'm shaking now. It's making out.
Yes,
Alright, listen, there is. They just
One house, inside house.
One back to 2.
I can't. Please. That one. Why one off farm?
Time.
I was gonna do it for the listening here. What'd you guys think of the listening? I thought they sounded good.
It was different from when their usual Beans and Joe like kind of yelling. It was more, I think the desk kind of mentioned it was like old Toronto, like where they were more calm and concise than Joe and Beans yelling dead.
Yeah, I mean, even I love Toby's comms. He's always like, I feel like Toby just whispers when he comms. He's just like chill. He's like in his.
He's ice cold, bro.
He's ice cold, man. What did you guys think about the streak here from Joe Seas? I felt like we didn't really like the streak here. Just because, I mean, they were getting the back spawns. I felt like they could have just hit this here. Maybe save the streak for later on in the game. Maybe a street hill or a P4 hill. I think
they save it because they got a 5 spawn out. I think if Beans doesn't spawn out there, then I think they could streak. But because they have a natural pinch because of the spawns, I think they don't use it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they could have just broke this without it and then just saved it for like the money hills, like P3, P4. But hey, I mean, they still ended up winning the map, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But in the moment, I remember us just commenting about the streak usage because we weren't sure about it. But then we get towards the end of the game, and here, this is where things just get really mixy. I'm just going to let it play out here towards the end because Miami, they were up here about 20, 30 points here towards the end of this one. And you can kind of see as we're rotating to a P4, you got Toronto Ultra just holding the line, trying to pick up all the lanes. Now, I would have liked to see Meadows run through here. What do you guys think about a play just running through here? He got through, and he got through the art, but instead he plays the kill. He ends up getting taken down here after he gets the kill. And it's actually Rancor who makes the play I wanted Meadows to make. And he spots the guy top art. And instead of playing the kill, he just runs right by. It runs right by him. Rancor makes the play, gets the guy out of time. And then unfortunately for him, he's quickly traded out. But what did you think about the play for Meadows? Would you like to see him run through there and try and make a play and maybe get those back spawns? Or do you like the play of him getting that guy out of top art?
Can you back up to where his teammates were when he was there?
Yeah, so he was actually the only one who got through. Everybody else was just hitting, like, trying to cross right or hitting mid. So he was the only one here.
Yeah, probably go through just because they have double crosses from top art as well to like kill his teammates mid. Like if he could kill these guys and then his teammates could get out mid, I'd say kill them. But because they have double crosses, I say probably just run through.
Iffy.
It's a
iffy,
hard
yeah.
call in the moment, though. That's a really hard call in the moment.
I think he just gets unfortunate because there's two of them. Like if he gets one there and like plays his life and lives, like it's just such a better scenario. But he gets one, and then the other guy obviously knows he's there, and then he's in a second fight where. If he would have got one player and just kind of held the line here, it would have been way more of like a distracting factor for like Toronto.
It's just a really hard read in the moment. Like you don't know where your teammates are. Probably like you don't know what crosses the other team has. I mean, the safer play is to run through, but I mean that's just an insane play to make in the moment.
Yeah, and you get Real. He gets pushed up in here. I mean, they do a good job just keeping this mixy, right? Just trying to delay some of this time and make sure Toronto doesn't kind of run away with it. But they get in with about 10 seconds left, and then this is where things get hectic. We go back over to a P1 hill. You can already see it's Real who's trying to get aggressive. He gets there pretty early. He's by himself, but I like the routes here. I like the route from Insight. He goes around, starts picking some guys off of old. You got CleanX trying to make plays through Catwalk. He's able to find a big two-piece. It just becomes a trade fest here. I think once those kills go down, the two-piece from CleanX, you got Beans at one. They get a clean wipe there. Toronto Ultra, I mean, they pretty much are able to run away with this one. Great plays from Joe as well, just to bounce around top Catwalk. Make sure nobody from Miami can get in. You can see Miami trying to flood through lobby. It's just not going to happen as Toronto Ultra close out the map number one. It was a good map one, right? I mean, today started off pretty hot with Toronto and Miami.
I thought it was going to go the distance.
Yeah,
this map one.
Me too. I thought we were going to see a map 5, but Toronto Ultra closing things down on map 1. Any final thoughts on the map 1, gentlemen? Absolutely. Let's go into the dealership S&D. I want to take things over to round number 10. This is the 5-4 round. Now, this is a clean retake coming in, a 4v4 retake for Toronto Ultra to send this to a round 11. I just want to take a look at it to see what could have been done better here on the setup from Miami to maybe hold this. But you can kind of see how they're holding the bomb site. The nades are coming in from Toronto. And as soon as all the nades and the tags go down, I mean, these guys were tagged up on site, but they end up getting the bomb down here. Good plays for Meadows to just play his life, stay alive. Bomb goes down for Miami, and then we'll see how Toronto's able to retake this. You got one guy coming from mid, two guys coming from their side. You got actually another guy with him in mid-map. That's going to be Joe Deceives kind of just lurking with him. CleanX is able to pop one. He ends up hitting the gap, pops two, and then Super's left here all by himself. This site is kind of hard to hold. It really is, because once you get this bomb down, there's really, you can't check the bomb without full channeling and being on site, right? So you kind of have to hold the site. I mean, if you're Miami and you get this bomb down, what's the best way to attack this situation? Like, how do you approach this when you get the bomb down? What's the best way to set up here?
Everything but back up, I think.
So Ben, you want to see them push up, Ben? You want to see them just kind of push out, use their numbers,
or take middle, or 3-1 and have someone go around, like backing up. Your point, like you just never are able to check bomb, and they just take all the space on you.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is to take middle, like you said. I feel like you should have some people playing like late mid. Like once the bomb goes down, like maybe rotate back and try and play mid control. Because if you win those fights mid and you can get bomb checks from window, I mean it's pretty difficult for Toronto to get in there, right? So I would like to see more mid control. But what are you guys saying? What do you think, Sam? What do you think, Pat? What would you do to hold this setup here after you get the bomb down?
What are you doing here, Pat?
Yeah, Pat. Let's hear some analysis, Pat.
The thing is, like, I want to answer this, I really do, but Tom, I can't take away the limelight from the guy who dropped 17 Game 5 Hacienda. You're the clear S&D master here, Tom. Break it down for us. Talk about what you did a little bit on that Hacienda and how you would apply it to
Pat,
this
you gotta
Nice
give him
one,
give him more
Pat.
context though, Pat. You gotta let him know we were down 1-5 Slayer. We were down 1-5.
Oh, he's playing to Tom's vanity,
what I'm
bro. He's
saying?
getting out of it, man.
I was looking at my chat and they were saying Bose is the S&D mastermind. Bose the S&D mastermind. That's what they were saying. I said, all right, hold on. Let me lean forward, Pat. Let me lean forward real quick. And Pat, I think the biggest thing with me is just being able to adapt in the middle of games, right? Like being able to read the other team and see what they're doing and kind of pick up on tendencies and kind of make some
I saw you hit
play
that round
calls.
11 with no fear as well.
No fear. Slay, you know I'm hitting that.
And I think going back to what Ben was talking about, he wants to see them get active on the map. Maybe they should have played this round with a little bit, no fear. That same
I agree,
mentality
Pat.
you had, Tom.
I agree,
Pat,
Pat.
how would you play this round still, though?
There you go, Ben.
Tom, or Ben, like we just broke it down. Me and Tom were just talking about it. I know, you wouldn't have the experience. But there's just a certain mentality you have to have going into rounds like this. And
Slayer refuses to answer the question.
The same way Tom would play it is I'm just going at him. I'm going at him. Bomb down, I'm going at him.
I would probably get mid-map control, but yes, going at him works too.
I would have super pitch mid instead of staying in a corner doing nothing.
We've seen teams do that on this postman. Like we've seen them play that shed corner and like try and angle it. I think
It's
people
just
get
so
slid on.
shit.
Yeah, I
dude.
mean
You get
Joe.
slid
Joe
on.
I think Joe did it Joe did it one of the rounds where he got like
a
a
3-piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know how he got these shit on them. Like I don't
To
even
be
know
honest,
how he
bro,
got that.
when you commit to the bomb like this with Miami, like you're essentially you're playing for like Toronto to fuck up.
You're
Like
auto lose the round if you do this.
you're auto losing the round if they don't fuck up because or you just like get really good timing on a kill. Yeah, I mean
you have two doorways you have to run through.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
Playing a retake, so.
Yeah, then we head into the round 11 here, and Toronto, they end up showing themselves A side. They throw their tax, but then look at what they do after this. They end up rotating this back, and I actually kind of liked what they did here. Granted, they lost this round, but I like the play call. They wrap this back. They start wrapping towards B, but they actually juke here. They don't really commit to B. They just wrap towards B, kind of make Miami tweak a little bit. I also like how they have Insight just kind of holding that back A spawn, just making sure nobody from Miami pushes through. And then as soon as Miami starts to rotate back to B, you can see Toronto hitting the U-turn yet again, going back to A. So just some mental games going on here in the round 11. From Toronto Ultra, and they're able to get a nice bomb plant down here onto the A-bomb. But then we'll see what happens next, because after Toronto get this bomb down, they end up getting picked here by the Miami Heretics, and we'll kind of see how they're able to break them down. You got one player from Miami. He's going to be playing mid-map. That's going to be Metals, just kind of locking this down. But the rest of them are pushing through front. And it's actually Super, who's able to find one. Metals does a good job just staying alive, coming through vent. He's going to bait for his squad. Joe DeC's all by himself. He goes down. And then you got Toby, who's left alone, just in a corner. Nothing to do there. Miami Heretics get the round 11 retake here onto Toronto Ultra. Now we just looked at the B site. Now we're taking a look at the A site. Bomb down yet again for Toronto Ultra. What would you do if you're Toronto Ultra? What's the best way to hold this site? Because I feel like once they get this bomb down, I just don't think they should be backing up, especially because where they planted it. Like, Joe planted it on, like, the backside. So if you're backing up, I mean, you can't even really see the bomb. Like, if Miami get control of, like, the site, like, it's going to be kind of hard. Like, you can see right there where Joe planted the bomb. It's going to be kind of hard to get eyes there. What do you do here if you're Toronto? Do you play late flanks mid again and try and get mid control? Maybe start hitting some pinches through garage and through vent? Or do you think they should push up through parking over here?
You can take this one, Tom.
Go ahead,
I was
Slay.
gonna say
I could take this one.
Slay, take this one, Slay.
I actually really like how Gwyn played this on the Ravens, Tom. We've watched this exact same scenario where it was TJ holding the left room and Gwyn kind of finessing mid-map, doing that late flank and just being disruptive. I really like that play. I think more teams should play for that. I think that's just really hard because you're basically taking the retake or someone on the retaking team out of the play because they have to watch that pinch. And then send your best player on the pinch. In this case, Joe or Kleenex, to win that one and just kind of play timings, play that nuisance role to keep them out. Well, obviously, time is dwindling down. That's how I personally. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the multi. Go ahead, Duarte.
I was gonna say, if your intent is to hold this bomb, you have to deny like the left side of the parking garage, and number 7 gets picked out on like a dog shit spot, or maybe he just didn't know he could be seen. But like they just played way too passive on this. Like you have to deny the head glitches on the A bomb. Another cheeky thing that you can do that some people don't know because if you don't play a lot, that side door that people keep trying to like come in from, you can actually shoot the doors open and close them by shooting the button. So if they try to like run in through that door, or they open that door, you can just like keep trolling with them and like shooting the door. So it forces them to either hit the vent, which is kind of risky to do, or just all go through the back end of the parking garage and force into team shots. Like they just played that solo. One guy was literally in the back, he gets picked for free, and then number 6 pushes up, and then he ends up like running away, and number 5 is just sitting in the room watching nothing. They just got to play confident. They got to play some team shots and hope that they just like catch Miami lacking, because the way they played this, they just didn't really have a concrete idea of how they wanted to hold this at all.
Yeah, they kind of looked like indecisive a little bit, but I like the plays from Miami, just wrapping back as a team and just kind of retaking together. They did everything as a unit here, which is good. Nobody made any solo plays or anything. So just a great retake overall for the Miami Heretics. This was the only map that Miami was able to take. Any final thoughts on the search, guys? Any final thoughts here on the SD?
We all probably think dealership's the best shit, right? I've actually had a lot of fun watching this map, and it seems like teams still exactly have not figured out the best way to play it. So I'm curious how it evolves.
I like it, bro. I talked about this when they added the map in. I mean, listen, bro, it's not like some of these maps that they're already playing are some of the best maps, right? So if people don't like dealership, I mean, it's not like you're replacing like a good map for a shit map, right? You're just replacing shit for shit. So at least we're getting something new. And it's been pretty entertaining. I feel like dealership S&D has actually played pretty well, to be fair.
I like it just because there's no certainties. Like, I feel like there's a lot of search and destroy maps that we've had where we kind of know what's going to happen at the beginning of a round, or we know as soon as a bomb goes down exactly what's going to happen and how a team's going to attempt to hold a retake and pretty much call GG on a round. But I feel like on this map, there's just so much like shit that a team can do, and so many ways that, these rounds, they just go down to like 1v1 sometimes. Like, it's just crazy to watch.
Yeah.
I just think we'll start to see teams start to figure out some really good like nades to throw on this map, retakes, denial bombs with nades. I think there's a lot of like evolution on this map, and to the point of like we're talking about the other side with the retake. Like late plays middle. I'm curious to see how it evolves going into Major 4.
Yeah, at least we're seeing something new. And I know they added some two maps into rank play, right? Barrage and Grind.
Barrage and Grind. Grind is horrible. The hard point does not play well. The spawns are bad, and there's not a lot of like sub lanes, so you kind of just spawn in Narnia, like on every hill.
Yeah.
And then Barrage, it's like a heavy AR map, but the spawns make sense. I just don't know if pros are gonna like it, because there's a couple spawns that kind of spawn you out in the wide open. It's like spawn trap heavy, but in my opinion, out of all of the maps, Barrage HP is probably the one that plays more like an actual hardpoint map, whereas Grind and Barrage Control are pretty bad.
Do you think that we could potentially see some of these maps getting into the league, maybe after the major, or probably
I think we desperately need like another hardpoint to replace one, because I think some teams have, some people think Protocol sucks, some people think Vault sucks, so that's probably one of the two to go. I still don't know why Rewind HP didn't get put back in, because I thought that was a pretty good map, but I think we're gonna probably wait until Haven comes out, because that's an MW3 map that was supposed to be released and it never got released, so they're releasing it this game. And the MW3 DLC maps have always been pretty good. So
when is that coming out? When is Haven coming out?
Season 3 Reloaded. So
when the hell is that?
Should be either after the major or it should be after the major.
Interesting. Yeah, I think even looking at just the mini map, because we got to see the layout of the map, right? I mean, nobody's really played it yet, but we get to see the layout, and the layout looks pretty good on it, right? But I feel like you can't really tell until you play the map and see how it plays, the spawns and everything, the angles, right? Just see how how it feels. But hopefully we get some new maps. I feel like we can always use some new maps just to freshen things up. I remember. What's up, Ben?
It's going to be interesting because there's not we've talked about this a bunch. If they decide, okay, so the major next week, and then we're going to make a map change, teams are going to come back, fly back Monday, probably start scrimming Tuesday. Then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before matches. You get used to the new map.
And I don't even know if that Haven map will be released by the time they get back. It'll probably be released a week after they get back. So like as we know, the way the maps get put in, they're like a patch behind. So like, I think this will maybe be an evaluation period for like Barrage or Grind. It won't be an evaluation period for Haven, whereas Haven might come in the final major if they even change the map pool by then. I don't know. It's kind of crazy that we're getting close to the end of the year now that I think about it, and we just have such poor quality maps, dude. Because in MW3, it was it was such a nice time when we got all those maps. We got Vista, 6-star, and Rio, and now we're stuck.
We're on
Yeah.
protocol.
We're still stuck with the same HP map pool.
S&D Dylan's in the chat, and he said that grind plays better than half the S&D maps.
I was told it only plays good in like 2s and like 3s. I don't know about 4s because it's kind of small, and like like I said, the lanes are like heavily divided. So like one lane, there's one small doorway that cuts into mid, literally a tiny door. If not, you have to go all the way around on both sides of the map to regain in the mid.
Yeah,
so you either have one tiny door or you wrap the entire map. There's no other separation of lanes, and that's true for both sides. So
yeah,
I don't really know if
I know exactly what you're talking about, because I remember playing and I was like if you're mid map, there's no way. You know the skate ramp, right?
Yeah.
If you're mid map, there's no way to cut to get to that skate ramp unless you can go. You got to go.
You
all the way
literally
around.
have to go around the entire map, if not through the smallest doorway to get to a side. It's dog shit, to be honest.
Yeah, they could have added a lane there, or like a vent or something, like a vent or like some, I don't know, like something there to just like get you across. But yeah, the way the map plays, I don't know. We'll see what happens moving forward. But then we get into the map number 4. This is where Toronto were able to close it out. But we're gonna go here. Miami actually had a lead here. Rencor used his streak here on a P1 with 20 seconds left, less than 20 seconds left, and he ends up getting 2 kills with it. But they don't do anything with it. They don't get any time. I mean, they keep the hill white for about 5-6 seconds. But then, Toronto get right back in there. I think Rencor definitely needs to use his streak earlier there when he rotates to the P1. I mean, he should have used it as soon as the hill popped, realistically. This is the situation when the hill just popped. And, look at this situation here. If you're Rencor, aren't you just popping it right now? Just using it now with 60 seconds still left on his hard point? Or are you holding on to it? What are you guys doing?
I'm using it only because metal spawns out as well. So it like helps, like if they run inside, he has a free pinch on the guys in trips.
Yeah, and also potentially flips them if they can get out quick enough, because you can hold a lot of this P1 time. I think they got a kill, so he probably didn't use it.
Yeah, maybe
and
because
he's
they
also
got
on
in
the
there for a
objective
second.
here.
Yeah, maybe because they were on there for a second. But he still doesn't call it here, even off spawn.
Yeah, he should call it now.
He should
if anything,
absolutely streak now.
This is literally the perfect time. His team's all indoors, and that's troll.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a troll. He did the hard part, got the cruise, and I felt like they could have used it here in a P1. You can lock down a lot of time on a P1 hard point if you play it the right way. And we'll actually see that at the end with Toronto, because they end up locking down a lot of time on a P1. But then we go into the P4. And this is actually where Toronto were able to get a big break here. You can see there's a lot of time left on his hard point still, about 35 seconds. So this is an opportunity here for Miami to tie up the game. But somehow, Insight is popping a 2-piece spiral. Did Miami overchow there? How did they get 2-piece spiral here? What happened?
Back up to how they reflood this.
I see this map.
I'll rewind it all the way, because Miami gets in here, right? Miami gets in here early. They're getting all the kills. They got a clean setup, and they spawn everybody out both side. Actually, no, the flip, they actually split them. So the splits come in. You can kind of see Miami still win the fights. I just don't know how Insight's able to get 2 coming from Zip here. I don't know how that happens.
I think he gets 1 week, and then a Miami player comes to help trade him, and then I think he just wins the gunfight and then finishes the second guy.
I think, look, this thing interesting, because I'm curious about the flow of this. Like, ultimately, someone should be going left off of spawn if you're Miami, right? Someone should go watch Big Door and try and get a freebie or pinch from that side. Like, I get that you want to flood and get there quick.
Wait, when?
You don't
think
think
before this?
Yeah, before this. Or do you think they just keep flooding spiral? Because I think the problem with that is, aren't you just jumping into square gunfights with people down zip?
No,
Like, you're not coming from the left and getting another angle.
That's the thing, though. It's like it's on them to kind of like chow this. If anything, I don't like how Real like played pussy behind the fucking computer when his teammate was trapped in spiral. Like as soon as he got shot at and the other guy was there. Like, granted, he's a little weak. Like, they should just double chow this guy. He's by himself. Worst case scenario, like he gets one of them, but instead they wait too long. The other 2 get 2-piece. They just lined up. I don't know what they did, because you can see their skulls. They are identically lined up. So they probably miscommunicated how they wanted to chow him in the first place. And then that's why. No, you absolutely do not go big door there. Like, that big door is one of those things where you go and pick it up, assuming like there's 3 people on your team already in the site.
Yeah.
Then you can go pick it up.
I was talking about this. I was doing a coaching session with Chelly and the boys yesterday, and I was saying this. Sam, like you said, right? The guy got made 1-shot spiral, then he backed up, and then the other guy chowed and died, and then the guy that was 1-shot chowed and died, right? I almost feel like it's a better play if you're one shot, to just chow with your teammate behind you, even if you're one shot. Just both of you chow.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're weak. And I was trying to tell this yesterday to when I was coaching the boys, because they would get a kill, get made one shot, but then they would run backwards. And then they would just completely kill the whole flow of the trades. Right? And I was trying to explain to them that sometimes it's better to slide out and die than to play your life and run backwards. And I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, because I feel like you ruin the trade situation. You're kind of ruining the choo-choo. You're ruining the choo-choo train, right? And it's kind of just fucking up the whole flow. Like, even if he's one shot, who is that? Who's there? Just super. So right here, he throws a shimmy, boom, whatever. He's one shot, inside tags him. His teammates behind him, just double chow with your teammate with number 3. As soon as rank core chow with him. Even if you're one shot, you still probably get that kill, or somebody's getting that kill if you double chow it. So like, I just think they got to get that trade quicker, and instead, just the way that they played it, kind of fucked them there, right? Like, sometimes it's better to just flat out and die than to just play your life and do nothing. He basically just baited his teammate, and then he died, and then he chowed while one shot, and they got two-pieced. Okay, Chris, were you gonna say something, Chris?
I was just gonna say that this hill, Ben, a lot of the time plays like tug of war, and unless you have like full control of the hill, where like your teammates are getting kills and the timing off spawns are good for you, then maybe you can like run out mid or like go green box and watch big door. But no, they still didn't have full control, so there's no point.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just like, someone gonna sit there and angle. I'm Zip. Obviously, you still can go down there and throw nades and you stun them, but like, you're just here's the thing.
Here's the thing, though.
Fucking squaring up.
Here's the thing, though. Even so, let's say hypothetically one of them did go green box. If he's there by himself and Toronto like doesn't decide to just jump down Zip, and they do go Zip, they're not stupid. They're not just going to fly down the big door without looking for a guy playing for it. They're going to see him and then ISO him. And if you're on that green box, yeah, you're in a head glitch. But like, unless you trophy yourself, which no one's ever going to fucking do, he's going to sit there and get bombarded by stuns, nades, and then killed. And then they're going to run in big door. So you're essentially like hoping that maybe you catch somebody off guard or get ISO'd and just die for free rather than playing with your team.
Well, I'm also trying to think there was what, like 15 seconds in the hill to like, you know, you're also trying to make sure that no one goes out left, goes top Zip, and you get flipped on P1.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Side. Like, I'm just trying to think like, yeah, you also get an alternative angle, but you're also playing ahead for next hill if you're not going top middle.
Yeah, I just think that their play was probably to try to commit to all that scrap time, then try to work their way out. But I don't know. Either way, it's just they just fucked up the trade, bro.
And then you see towards the end of the game, I mean, Toronto Ultra just locked down so much time on P1. It's just Joe to see is getting pushed out while they're just soaking hill, and I mean, just pushing out those cuts as a sub. I mean, when sub players can get pushed out and just hit those timings, you could just soak up so much time, just kind of push back those spawns a little bit. Miami wasn't able to do anything. And then we go over to the P3, and again, another great play from Joe, just getting mid-map control. He gets the 1 kill mid, then collapses on the time, and with 5 seconds left to go, Toronto Ultra are able to close this out. Big trades coming in from Joe here. They do get in for a second here, but Toronto Ultra, they end up just rotating and closing out the game with a big row here. Super trying to pop a 3, but Jamie not having it. It's Jamie getting the job done. So Toronto Ultra end up getting the 3-1 finish here onto the Miami Heretics. You guys got any final thoughts on the series?
I mean, I just think, to reiterate with Miami, they're just a momentum team, and specifically the medals. So like, yeah, I mean, listen, they've had a good placing on land this year, and they have a lot of potential right now. If medals can find consistency, I don't think any of us, and you guys probably all agree, none of us are asking to drop a 1-2. But if he can figure out how to get to a 0.95 KD level, I think they're a real force in difficult odds, especially in respawn.
You talking about Miami?
I'm talking about Miami specifically, medals.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, Metals needs to he needs to find some consistency in his gameplay, and the best advice you can give to him is just to go back and watch. Go back and watch some of the maps he's doing really well. Go back and watch the VODs where he's going double negative. Like, figure out why his timings are off or why things aren't going right, and try and correct it, right? Try and put yourself in situations where you're just going to be more consistent on the map. So that's something that he's just going to have to figure out, right, as a player. And if he doesn't perform, I mean, is there a situation where you see Miami maybe making another change here? I mean, who do you get? I feel like they went through the whole fucking country.
The Spanish are bled dry, bro. Who else?
I don't know, Slan.
I don't
see any changes on the cards for them, to be honest.
What I would say for Miami is the way that this offseason is setting up. I don't think they make a change now, but people might, if they want to go mix, I think there are players that want to go and play here, especially with the potential of Super, Rencore, and Real in a mix situation. Like, I think they potentially could recruit somebody here and really level it up, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Speak Spanish.
That could be interesting.
Snoopy does speak Spanish. Who else speaks Spanish in the league? I feel like there's other people that speak Spanish too.
Scrap's always vouching for his boy Byron. I respect that.
Prolude knows Spanish, does he? Is Prolude fluent? I mean,
Prolude for medals.
I mean, listen, these are good options. I don't even think those are bad options, right? I mean, you need somebody who could just consistently come in and just like, you know, fill their role and do their job. I mean, obviously we see medals pop off here and there. We just want to see it more. But anybody else got any final thoughts? Any thoughts here, gentlemen? All right. Let's move on to the second series of the day. And man, oh man, was this a beating. We got the Boston Breach going up against the CLOUD9. Boston Breach 3-0 CLOUD9 with ease. This one wasn't even close. CLOUD9 got completely bullied. We take a look at the Skyline hardpoint. It's 250 to 136. Hacienda S&D was 6-4, and a Hacienda control was 3-0. So nearly a 100-point club and a hard point, 3-0 in a control, 6-4 in a surge, a quick 3-0 for the Boston Breach. We'll take a look here at the stat sheet, and oh my God, we got a red carpet, ladies and gentlemen, from the CLOUD9, and it's not looking good. Sib with a 0.8, Mac with a 0.8, Kremp with a 0.79, and Dylan Attach with a 0.69. On the other side, everybody positive. A Purge IE Masterclass today from Purge, a 1.53 in a series. Snoopy with a 1.27. Awakening with a 1.31. He had a big 1v3 clutch today. We'll take a look at it. And we got a 1.07 coming in from Cammy. We'll take a look here at the match MVP. It's going to be Purge. Purge with a 1.67 in hardpoint, a 0.63 in Surge, and a 1.86 in control. Purge having a great series here in this one. We'll start with you, Pat. CLOUD9 could not get a fucking kill on the map today, Pat. What is going on?
I mean, the friendship of this team is just powerful, Tom. They might be lifelong pals. Because the writing's been on the wall for a couple months now. I just, what do they do now? Like, we know they're awful, right? Their champ spot is basically done and dusted. Like, it would take a pretty big miracle
They
for
gotta
them to
get
bring
like
this back.
they need a Sunday at a major.
Yeah, and maybe like a 5-0 when they come home.
They ain't 5-0 in their stage 4. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, like so yeah. I mean, this team waited too long because now even if they make a change, it's not going to move the needle. I think this team is playing for EWC. Obviously, they got to make a change for that. I fucking hope. But yeah, the friendship of this team sticking together was definitely far too strong for how good this team actually was. They should have made moves a long time ago. There's not really much to say like on their gameplay. I think we're gonna continually see them get shit on against these mid-pack teams. Like maybe they'll beat the bottom two squads, but like there's just right now there's no hope for CLOUD9. Kind of how I look at it.
What about you, Chris? What do you think? What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean they got shit on. We've been talking about this team and the potential roster changes looming. It's kind of getting too late. I'd like to see them change, give some younger guys some opportunities, and see if they can make some runs because they just need some slaying power. Because outside of like Dante and Kremp, these guys, both Mac and Attach, just can't buy a kill most of the time, or they're just inconsistent.
One of the best ARs you would have got is now on the Ravens.
Like, whoa. There's some people out there that still have yet to be picked up. They actually got. Hold on, they got 2 AR options. Okay, Brack would be one of them.
Guys say this like
listen,
the best AR
hold
didn't
on,
get picked
hold
up,
on. No, Brack is fucking good as fuck too, and he'd play probably like Attach, like so you kind of get like a similar play style, really good at search, kind of a little bit on the slower side, like veteran if you want him. Or you go with the young gun, somebody that's a fucking actually disgusting AR, super fucking talented, underrated. Merc, he just actually world starred in the grand finals of the Challenger Elite and had some of the best stats in the entire or what is it called? Season? No, stage? Yeah, stage. So he's fucking disgusting. Tom, you could also vouch for that guy. He was on your Stallions team for a bit.
Merc is very good. Merc is a very good player.
Merc is disgusting.
I'm a big Merc fan. Big Merc fan.
Listen, I will say, I'm gonna start some propaganda here, but Encourage was getting a lot of gas for no reason when Merc was on the team because Merc was 10 times the player. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna be honest. I gotta say something about this. Everybody on that team was getting gas for some reason. They encouraged. I don't know why. There was just a lot of Reddit posts, Twitter posts. I always gassed Merc, and that's a fact. I always gassed Merc.
Fair. But I'm saying from the community, Merc is fucking disgusting. And then for the submachine gun, you got two options. You need a route taker. Kremp is the face smasher. Let's be real here. You need a route taker, or you need just another talented SMG. Craze just won his third elite of the year. So that guy was on a Fellows team, and he was like MVP of this last Challengers Elite. So that guy's at the top of the list. Or you pick up Standy, who was Johnny's duo. They won the last Challenger LAN, and Standy is again a route taker, and he's also playing very well. He usually plays pretty good in Treyarch games. So you got two options in terms of the SMG and the AR. If you want to make a run, a miracle run, or maybe even prep or EWC, get some fucking shooters on this team, because I think Dante and Kremp, for the most part, yeah, they had a bad series here. They're getting let down into service, especially Kremp. Kremp is having his best year in terms of like individual play style, in my opinion. He was pretty decent on Thieves, but prior to that, he was kind of lackluster, and I feel like he's gotten a lot better. Mac and Attach are letting this team down. Just fucking send the upgrade and pray, because at this point, with the way things are going, you're gonna need a miracle run, and you're not getting it out of this team. Period.
What about Mythic's Parasite? How's he?
He's good. He's the thing is, he's European, and I feel like that's probably just gonna, like, if they need like quick changes now, that might be harder. But he's also a good shout, so I'm not gonna say no. But I mean, it's just easy. Like Merc, Standy, Brack, and Craze, they're all from NA. So
hey, I've seen enough. Bring in Yusuf. He just needs 5 more years. He needs 5. He's 13.
He's in the academy right now.
Bro, hold on.
Also,
Can we talk about Yusuf though, bro? He's actually disgusting.
Here we go.
No, I'm not trying to.
Starting the Yusuf propaganda.
Bro,
man.
he's disgusting. No, come on.
We've gone from ASIM to his blood,
Come
bro. We're
on.
on his younger brother.
No, come on. No, come on. I need
No, Yusuf's definitely
I
talented,
know
but
you
like,
guys
he's
have been
13,
watching the
bro.
same shit I've been watching, bro. He is insane for 13 years old. He's insane. He's actually a really good player. I mean, he obviously has a lot of time to go. Like 5, he can't play for the league for 5 years, right? So, I mean, he can't play, which, by the way, that's a whole nother convo. Why is there an age limit in COD? Like, why is that a thing? Like,
wait, I was having this conversation earlier, Tom. I think for challengers, the age restriction should be like maybe 16 if they want to keep a restriction, like it's or none at all. Because I think for the CDL, for the CDL it kind of makes sense. But like if you give younger talent an opportunity to compete and kind of hone their skills, like on the game at a younger age, they're going to be more likely to stick around, and like you're going to see them develop as players way quicker.
Listen, people are saying that the game is 18 plus. Yeah, but bro, back in the day, boom, you just get a form that a parent can sign or something to just clear their.
But that was when MLG was doing it. First off, M-rated is 17 plus, so I don't know why it's 18 and not. Why it's on 17, not 18. But I think what would probably help, at least from the Activision legal side, is a goreless mode, like no blood mode, would probably get them enough of a leeway where either they get a T rating or they'd be able to like.
They already have that. They have dismemberment and gore effects, and you can turn it off.
It's like full blood, like it's just fully like paintball.
Well, it's not paintball. There's just no gore effects. There's no blood. There's no explosions of bodies. Like it's just, yeah.
And then I don't know, because I remember when this came up about 8 years ago. This is like during the end of AW into Black Ops 3. The issue was apparently an insurance issue. So I don't really know what the problem is now, and I assume it's on the Activision side. When it was just MLG is doing events and Activision not giving a fuck, then yeah, on the MLG side, the waivers suffice on the parental consent side. But I assume what Activision and Microsoft need from a legal standpoint, it doesn't. And I think they should figure it out. I don't think it should be like, you know what I'm saying? Like you may get 13 plus, you know, I love Yusuf, but you know, being naturally talented, great. You got to learn how to be in a team environment. It's tough to see 13-year-olds have the emotional maturity to do that. But there are probably a lot of talented 16, 17-year-old players in U18 who are, you know, finishing up high school or in the middle of high school who could definitely start to get challengers looks. Or you tier it and you say, well, in challengers, you're eligible at 16, in the pro league, you're eligible at 17. So you just get a year of that seasoning and then you're pro eligible.
Is there
a lot of ways
is there an 18 plus requirement on Halo right now in the HGS?
I'm not sure. I honestly have no idea. What's the age restriction for Halo right now? Does anybody know? Somebody in the chat said, I think. Does anybody in the chat know? Does Halo have an age restriction? Maybe. Is there anybody in Halo who's super young?
I got the RoboCup.
Oh, it's 18 plus, I think. I think it's 18 plus. Or maybe 16. Somebody said 16. I don't know. I have no idea. People were just saying everything. But Sam, what did you think about the series, Sam LaRue? While Ben looks that up. What'd you think, Sam?
I mean, you guys kind of touched on everything.
These guys got pooped on, Sam.
I got nothing much to add, man. I think C9's, I think they're kind of sunsetting the team a little bit. They missed their roster period. I mean, they could still pull the trigger. They have 2 majors left, including EWC as well. So 3 tournaments to play for potentially. I think their champs window has closed. They're at 105. The teams ahead of them are getting better, and their schedule for stage 4 is pretty brutal. So again, barring like a top 3 plus a couple upsets, I would say in stage 4, I think this team's looking forward to EWC. So in that case, I would still make changes because you have a lot of prize money on the table, even if you're not going to be at champs. But I wanted to tip my cap to Boston a little bit. We've been on C9 for a while. I think they found a level of consistency that I didn't expect for this team to find, which I definitely will. I'll take that one on the chin. I think the ARs have stepped up massively. I think Cam and Wake have been great for them. I think Snoopy's been phenomenal all year, one of the most underrated players. And I still think Purge has some work to do against the upper competition. They did play well against LAT on lane, obviously, but I think through and through that Boston's really become a solid mid-pack team. So I just want to give them their flowers. Thought a good series today.
If you're curious, Tom, so I have it pulled up. For Halo, it's a little confusing. Your eligibility depends on the region you're in. So in North America, so US, Canada, and Puerto Rico, it's 13. In Europe and the Middle East, it's 16. ANZ 15 and Mexico 16.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's 13. Isn't Halo rated M for mature too?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the HES 2024 handbook right now. So
Okay, so that whole fucking 18 plus thing is bullshit. Or the M-rated game is bullshit. Because if Halo's the same way and they're able to do it, then there's no reason why COD couldn't do it. I mean, hey man, I would love to see something like that. I mean, you see academy leagues. Isn't there an official academy team for the young players? Or sorry, academy league? Isn't there an official academy league?
I don't know. I don't think it's sanctioned. I think it's just you know what I'm saying, like.
Okay.
And Halo, by the way, is a teen rating. I just looked it up.
Yeah, and then to talk on the other
When
side.
did that change? Always
I don't know,
rated
but
M.
Infinite's T. I'm looking at the survey page right now.
Yeah, just to add on to what Sam was saying with Boston, I mean, yeah, I think Boston look insane. I think when Purge is having like these masterclass series and he has like, Sam, we were talking about it, his takeover potential is just like insane.
He's got an underrated takeover, bro.
Yeah,
Purge
he
has had a
does.
couple moments this year where I'm like actually tweaking about watching him. He like obviously the vault is the thing that comes to mind. I forgot who it was against, but when he went like 40 and 20 or something. But Purge had a little bit of a takeover in him for sure.
What the fuck was C9 doing in this 1v3 here? I mean, Big Wade just letting it sing. And then he ends up taking a route here as well. Just some solo chows coming in from C9 and Big Wake able to get the 1v3. He played well today too. Big Wake is another one who's been kicking up.
Both ARs have been great. I
Yeah.
think Cammy's leading the league right now in clutches too. I saw that after the series was over.
Is he?
Yeah, I believe so. I think he's number 1 right now.
I
But
don't know.
the ARs have been good.
I don't know what they were doing in that play. I also don't know what they were doing playing Hacienda S&D in this series.
That was my next point. The vetoes were very strange for me.
In this series, Tom. So New York, or sorry, Cloud9 banned Vol Hardpoint, which I think understandable now going back and looking at it. Boston's record on the map is very good. I think they're 7-2 last I looked at it. So understandable. They went to Skyline Square Up, didn't win. The Hacienda, the dealership ban's interesting to me because I'm curious what you guys think about this. I think Hacienda S&D is Boston's best search map other than say Rewind. And I think banning dealership, a map that's really new, is more of a questionable choice. And then because you got to think it through. You don't know if
That's
your
probably
team
more
that
on
it's gonna
them
be-
than not the team.
Yeah,
that
but
they're
here's
playing.
my thing is you're giving Boston, no matter how it slices, probably 2 really good maps back to back in the series.
Isn't C9 Isn't C9 a pretty good search and destroy Hacienda team too?
They're not bad at it. They're like 6 and I think they're
it's
6
probably
and 3
it's probably
now.
one of their stronger
Or
maps.
6 and
So
2
they're
prior.
probably just like we're not good at what's that map? Dealership. We're gonna square up. At least it's one of our good maps, and let's see if we can beat them on it. That's probably their ideology there. They're probably just not good at dealership, which is not a good thing right now. But it is.
I
I don't
Is
think
it
it's a good
fair?
thing because it's so many teams are playing it. Everybody's playing that map. It seems like it seems like it's in every series. And I feel like if you're going to pigeonhole yourself into vetoing it or not being good at say Rewind or dealership, I think going into the major it's going to be tough because all these teams are getting quality reps online. Whereas you're going to show up and veto it, then if you have a bad search map, then you don't. It's you know what I mean. You just kind of pigeonhole yourself a little bit.
I just think once you leave Hacienda and your team A, you better fucking win that Skyline because the map 2 is a square up. And this C9 team has no ability to reverse sweep the fuck out of anybody. So, like, but once map 1 was in the fucking bin, it was fucking GG's on the square up. That's just the gamble you play with the vetoes. 'Cause I understand it. I think C9 have only lost Hasi a couple of times, but, like, not winning that map 1 Skyline square up just is a tricky position.
Well,
Yeah.
Boston's really good at Skyline. I think they're one of the. Did they hand Toronto their
They
first loss on that
slammed
map?
Toronto on it.
Yeah.
That wasn't their first
Yeah.
loss, but it was a pretty handy one. for
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
Boston's been playing that map a lot. They've been playing like almost every other series, pretty much since like Major 2. So
Yeah, I think they just
Your chat's
they,
checking you, Benja.
I just think they have a shit veto pool versus this team, and they got punished
Yeah,
for it.
their map set does not square up very well. But I mean, probably regardless of map set, C9 just played like ass.
They
I
played
think this
terrible
team is.
today.
I think
Yeah.
this team is just done. To be honest.
heard
even
on
though-
them reverse sweeping Rocker, but Rocker also have Game 5 round 11 cheese going on there. So
You could see it in their face, in C9's faces when they lost. It went to their cameras, and like Dante was just sitting there silent. I think one of like Mac or Kremp was like trying to say something, and the R2 got out of their chair. Like they're tweaking.
I mean, bro,
it's-
they just missed their window. I think that there was a moment in the middle that, like, if you look at C9's roster, you wouldn't like. Maybe you would, but I don't think that they have 105 points, 10th in the league. Like that team seems a lot better than where they are in the standings, and I think they just missed their window. Like I had them, Major 2, like relatively high in the power rankings, like top of the mid pack. And I mean, this team they had a moment where they could have capitalized on momentum in the season if they did the right roster changes and kind of rode the wave a little bit. But
Mac and Attach are just too inconsistent. Like every other map, one of them is not playing their best. And yeah, sure they have their moments, but like they just come so rarely that it's not even worth it at this point to keep this roster together.
It's really disappointing, Chris, because there's a lot of experience on this Cloud9 team, and they probably have a lot of experience on these dead team situations. And I'm just surprised they decided to not like roll the dice considering their performance and where they were at the standings and just go with what they have, because a week and a half later they're out of this race. And it basically, unless they somehow back in with top 4, the Deep Sunday run at this event, like they are building for EWC. And to be honest, and we're gonna probably start talking about the C9 team, you don't think that AG is in Dante's DMs right now being like, yo, come over to Vegas? Your C9 team's a fucking clusterfuck. They might lose their
100%.
their best.
Dante is
second-best
going
player.
somewhere this offseason. I would be shocked
Yeah.
if not.
So this
But I
is a
also-
bit of a precarious situation.
But I
now.
also don't understand because Cloud9, it's not like they're at risk of making a change. Like it's not like you're building around Attach and Mac long term anyway, right? It's like if you don't have Attach and Mac going into the next game, it's not like it's a downside.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
gonna feel
exactly.
horrible about it.
I don't know why they're not just like being active on these changes.
That's what I'm saying. If they get
I can
if
tell
they
you
get
why,
any
Pat.
sort
You
of
said it as
people,
soon as we started talking
Yeah,
about it.
I mean,
I know
no,
why, I just don't know
no
why, yeah.
disrespect to the players on this roster, because again, a lot of talent. Dylan's won a bunch in his career. Lamar, their coach, has won a lot. Dante's always been on some great teams. They just have all been recently in the last 5 or 6 years in team situations where they just make late changes. And I get that, the trust and practice are probably getting better, but they're just not able to self-reflect and understand that everybody else is also getting better, and that they're just kind of giving at that wave, and that wave is going to Cancun instead of, pitching
Damn,
around
Benjay, what the fuck, Benjay?
Whatever.
My bad, Cancun. But yeah, any other final thoughts here with Boston Cloud? I think Boston looked great. I think Cloud9
I think
have
Boston had like a 3rd seed, right? Something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, there's a lot of 3-1 teams. We'll see.
Bro,
how
we
everything
need
plays out, but
Boston
all the
to do
top
this
seeds.
on land and make a run. We need Boston with like a top 3
They
finish
made a
or
little
something.
baby run at Major 2.
Yeah.
They're in a good spot to do it this event.
It's
Yeah.
going to be, guys, the standings for this could be really weird for winners brackets. So don't be surprised if we see some just weird halves of the winners bracket where like some team we don't expect might get the top 3 at this event.
Yeah, any other final thoughts? Think C9, man, just the teamwork just so bad today. They just look compromised today. Just watching, I mean, I was like, what the fuck? 3 maps in a row, they looked like they couldn't get a kill. But any other thoughts? Pat, you got any other thoughts on that?
Scraps talking shit
think- I
about
think
Boston when
Ernie-
he got slammed round 1.
No
Ernie's
way,
got some
dude.
thoughts on that one.
No fucking way. All right, Pat, no thoughts?
No, I mean these cats just got to make changes, bro.
Slowly. All right, let's move on to the last series of the day, and then we'll take a look at tomorrow's matches. See, we got some bangers for tomorrow.
Time respecter.
Yeah, another time respector.
this
The
shit.
LA Thieves, 3-0ing the Los Angeles Guerrillas. LAG are now 0-4 in this stage. They are yet to find a win here. And of course, they just blew it up as well. So they got some new players in there, and they're still struggling here. We'll take a look here at the Skyline Hardpoint 250 to 193. Red Card Search 6-2 and Protocol Control 3-0. So this one wasn't even close yet again. We'll take a look at the stat sheet, and oh my god, it's another red carpet. These teams are getting pooped on. We got Tyler Fellow with a .78, the Bulldog Kismet with a .88, Lunars with a .98, and Oh Johnny with a .8. Take a look at the other side. You got Envoy with a 1.28, Dan Ghosty with a .93, Hydra with a 1.23, and Scrap with a 1.19. Everybody pulling weight there. We'll take a look at the match MVP. It's going to be Envoy with a 1.15 in Hardpoint, a 2.25 in S&D, and a 1.26 in Control. Sam, we'll start with you. These are your boys.
I got nothing to say, bro.
You got nothing to say, Sam. Nothing.
I have legitimately nothing to add.
I mean, this was another just beating, bro. I mean,
I have nothing of value.
That one was close for a bit.
No, it wasn't, bro. I don't care.
For
I have
a
nothing,
little bit.
nothing of value.
For a little
to
bit.
add.
He
And
said
then
that one
LG
was close
couldn't
for a
hold
little
the
bit.
fucking P4 and Skyline to save their lives, and it was fucking GG's go next.
My head is empty.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be fair. I actually think LA Thieves, I think map 1 would have been worse if LA Thieves didn't troll a few rotations. They were just making some trolls, making some mistakes. They were having a hard time holding some of those hills. But hey, they still ran away with it. I mean, what'd you think, Benjay? What'd you think of the series?
I saw that Marky B after the series, coach of this LG team, tweeted, that I think the practice will inevitably show. But I just saw a real lack of teamwork.
I hate that tweet.
I don't like the tweet either, but I just didn't
Not
see a lot
his
of
specifically, but that sentiment of
Yeah,
the tweet.
and how many
genre
times
of
have we
tweet?
seen those tweets?
Not
bro?
necessarily
It's just-
Mark's
genre
tweet,
of
but
tweet.
that tweet I just don't like, bro.
But,
Don't worry, guys. We're so much better in scrims. I swear.
But they play with no the teamwork was just bad today. I really honestly believe map 1 they hold some of those P4s. I don't know if they win. I don't know if they clutch up at the end, but they could have been in a position to take control of that first map.
Is this the one that Dan just walked down plat and broke P4 on first rotation without anyone calling it out or looking at it?
I don't know if that was first or second P4, but that was
Regardless,
first.
I'm pretty sure it happened in this map. But
yeah. It's just there were a couple of P4s they tossed, and then the red card and the control just zero teamwork from LAG. I don't know. I don't like that tweet from Mark because it's like they didn't show any teamwork today. So yeah.
Yeah, what do you think, Duarte? What'd you think of the series?
Well, I just think I feel kind of bad just for the personnel in LAG. I just think that they're kind of just thrown into like a shitty team environment where they all come together and they're probably all just trying to figure it out, because that's kind of what's going to happen when you get basically an entirely new roster. So they're just in a bad place. Because I do think that Johnny and Lunars, at the very least, we've already kind of seen where Fellow is, Kismet is, like they've been in the league quite a few times. But I kind of feel bad for Lunars and Johnny just because I feel like on different teams where like they're maybe a little bit more established, maybe not an entire team change, they'd probably have a little bit more to show for it. Especially Johnny. I think Johnny's gross. He has glimpses where he looks really good and he's making great plays, or he's just like sitting in the hill and popping pieces. So it's just very unfortunate for him.
Lunars
But
did not do anything for me at all. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't think Lunars has shown me a singular fucking thing.
I haven't seen one good game from him. No,
I know what Johnny's bringing.
Okay,
Johnny's
but I think
gross. He was good
at the very
last year.
least for
He's good
Johnny.
this year.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
think
honest.
Lunars got
I'm gonna be
anything,
honest.
bro.
And this, like, from what I've seen, he looks scared. Like he's scared to chow. Like
Who, Johnny?
No, Lunars. Like there's too many situations where he's just like not chowing, where he should be chowing. Or I just like, I don't know. I feel like he needs to get in the mix more and like, stop playing small fingers, stop playing so slow. Like, bro, slide cans to the corner, chow some shit. Like get Bixie. I just, there was a couple. I remember there's one situation in the S&D where somebody just waltzed through mid map, killed somebody right next to him, and he just laid down the stairs. He didn't even try and get the trade. I'd rather you try and go for the trade.
Oh, it was Dan when he killed Kiz in the corner.
Yeah, and then he just walked away. Nobody was there to like, and Lunars was just laying down the stairs. I'm like, dude, stand up, chow him. Like, don't let him go anywhere. Like, he's in the middle of the map. Like, he's right there. Like, again, I'd rather you make a play and get shit on than make no plays at all, right? I want to see people play to win than play to not lose, if that makes sense. So it's just like, frustrating. Like, I just think Lunars needs more confidence. Like, I don't think he's a bad player.
That's fair.
I just think in challenges he was a lot more confident than he is in this situation. Maybe it's the team environment, Chris. Like, I don't know. You talk about
I mean, the other problem, and I love Fellow, and like he's good in search, but like, bro, the controls.
we know
are-
what Fellow's bringing online,
Bro,
though, Ben. This isn't new.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
Glenn usually steps it up. He's been, I don't, his hard points have been up and down the stage. The controls have been, they've been bad at control in general, but I think he's really struggled in the game mode. So I do, Chris, like, feel bad in the sense of this just seems like a shitty team environment. People trying to play for their position, like whatever. But like at minimum, these guys should be like trying to play with some semblance of teamwork together.
No, I'm also
They're
not
just
going
on
to
the
totally. I'm also not going to totally slander them this series. They had a close map one, but like I feel like even though they haven't like been good, they've had a lot of close series in terms of like just maps. Like the maps, a lot of their maps have gone down to the wire. So like they do have that competitive aspect, and we see that they can compete sometimes. They just can't get any wins on the board, and I just think it's unfortunate for them. Just the situation that they got brought into, all kind of just trying to mesh. But on the Thieves side, I mean, these guys are fucking gross online. They just got to fucking go and finally win an event because we've been hopeful. We had them winning the last tournament. They showed up. They fucking didn't. They didn't. And then now they came here and they've won every single online match but one. So hopefully that curse doesn't hit them again.
Yeah.
And they go in and win it. I also like their listening because I think you're probably going to bring it up. Their listening was much better. I heard a lot more small talk. So that definitely helped because the last time we watched their listening, it was on Skyline as well. And we heard them communicating a lot more in this Skyline listening than in the last one. So
let's tune in.
Good on them. We want to see that.
Let's tune into the listening real quick before you go, Ben, and then we'll let you go real quick. Let's tune in and see how the boys are sounding.
AC, post to me. Sorry. I'm gonna get something. I'll get to something. I'm making more time. I'm making more time. Bet. Here's hit. I got time. This time. Yo, spawning kitch. Top mid first one. Top mid first one. Top mid. There's two top mid. No. Help top mid, Paco. Another one top mid. Am I just being crazy? I'm making them contest. We're missing Fellow and Johnny, guys. Go left. Come in dead left. Johnny, left. Stone one shot. Top stone. Top stone right now. No left. One bullet kitchen. One bullet wood. He's my top front. Just hit AC. AC dead all the time. I shot my bed. I have my bed. I think we. Go on, go top mid. Let's all go top mid. Nothing left. Let's go top mid left. Okay, he's on time right now. AC dead. On time. Wait, no. Time dead. Yo, AC. Our top T one bullet on time. Alright, time is Johnny. He's gonna have to go on Johnny for time. One nerd left. I have nerd. Gonna be top mid. One nerd. I'm left. Nerd. Weak. Top video. Nerd dead. I don't see patio and AC fellow.
All right, that's gonna do it. But what they Becky Pointo got the whole listening, but it sounded better. It did sound better, Duarte.
Yeah, they definitely sounded better.
Yeah,
sure.
I think communication is obviously a really important thing, especially when it comes to like winning events, right? Like you need to make sure that communication is on point heading into the major. One thing that is a factor, bro, is there are teams that do come and communicate way better online than they do LAN, and that's just a fact. Why'd you say, Ben? Was that you?
Because it's my team.
Oh, it was you? I thought that was Ben, Jed. Sam, would you agree with that take that some people on LAN just like don't come or just are way different on LAN? People play differently on LAN too.
I just don't like silence. There should never be a moment of silence. You should always be preparing and thinking ahead and like coming up with something that you guys should talk about.
Yeah.
So it's good that they didn't have that moment at all in comparison to the last listening.
Yeah, I mean, if you're LAG, what do you do in a situation like this? You make a team, you blow it up, and you still can't find wins here. I mean, granted, they just lost to one of the best teams in the league, but I mean, they're winless in the stage. I mean, what's next for LAG? I mean, how did these guys get out of this? How did they get out of this slump?
Well, they're not getting out of it.
Yeah, they're bringing it
really, I think, listen, the way that everything has gone down this year, the way they're playing right now, whatever within the culture of this team that has this mercenary culture right now, they need to fix step one. And I don't, that's a hard problem to solve. I don't know where that toxicity is coming from, but it's apparent in the lack of teamwork they have. You're not going to really be able to back into a good run, at least for this next event. It's probably going to require shuffling more personnel in this team. You need a race to pick up challengers players. They got to build the foundation of something and start somewhere. I think Johnny's definitely got some potential. Slaying a little bit inconsistent, especially in respawn. Kiz, I just don't know if this is really his type of title, to be honest, watching the way that he plays.
Well, he was a lot better pre-roster change. And I don't know if that's a product of him like trying to overcompensate, and now he's trying to like work around the team. But I think we can all agree that Kiz was definitely a lot better before they made this team.
Can I make a little bit of a hot take though? Kiz's play style is a little bit more of like he's not really like a run it down style sub. Like he's more of a pace, play corners style sub. And I don't know if there's that type of title. You know what I'm saying? That was perfect for like Vanguard, MW2. But I think in this game, it's not really, it's not his style of a COD. Am I crazy for that?
I don't know. I feel like the Bulldog be pushing pace sometimes, bro. I feel like that's why they call him the Bulldog.
Yeah, I don't think he plays like that at all. I think this game would definitely suit his play style. I just think they're just having trouble putting it together. And I mean, if we're gonna listen to what their coach had to say, he did say they do better in scrims. So if that's true,
I'm tired that it's better in scrims.
I know. But let's be realistic with the solutions they have. They're probably not gonna make any changes. They're just gonna see what they can do for the rest of the season. Then maybe come EWC, maybe make more changes if it's just hopeless. But if it does come down to what their coach is saying, they just got to find a way to apply that to their practice, because they're having close maps. Like granted, two of these maps were blowouts. That first map was winnable, and then pretty much a couple of their other series were winnable. So they got to find a way to close maps, and then we can start talking about them
very
in a better
aggressive
light.
strategy for LAG. If I were LAG manager right now, I'm picking up an academy team after this major. You need to claim rights on as many challengers players and give yourself options. Because clearly they're going to need to pivot this roster completely. I think trying to back into potentially a team, they qualify EWC gets a little bit funky for them with the rules there, but like at least getting people under contract that they have first right of refusal on will help them have options going this offseason, because I think they're looking at almost a total rebuild at the moment.
Well, I don't think they're going to go after challengers players this offseason is the thing, though. Because, like, this organization has money to spend. This isn't like they're in the fucking pits of hell throwing minimums around, right? Like, this is a team.
Heard, but it's a clusterfuck in that sense of they're looking for players, Vegas looking for players, Optics probably looking for players. The chance of them getting their first option on the list is not like ideal.
Well, honestly, hopefully next year they get rid of this fucking LAG brand and just become the Gentlemates or whatever. Because good lord, bro, this shit is cursed.
I mean,
they should
I'm just
do
thinking
LA
about this
Gentlemates
shit.
and
Like,
just make a whole new logo and a whole new everything. They should just like wipe this shit clean, bro.
I'm just going full Sam. This is gonna be an NBA reference, but I'm just going full Sam Presti here, bro. As many assets as possible. Give yourself flexibility to build.
I mean, it's the Toronto MW19.
Yeah,
We've said that for a lot of teams, though. A lot of teams need to just pick up these people before someone else does, because some of these players are either on their way out or they just got to find a team that works, like a mesh that works, especially in this title. This title
I think they got to just chalk it up to the fact that whoever's running the show does not know how to build rosters in this camp, bro. Like, Linz is getting dropped off challenger teams.
That's insane.
Did he get dropped off the team with Spar and Brack?
Yeah, he went to challengers, got dropped off his. The guy was just in the league, and was the guy that Gotaga was trying to franchise tag.
He was frying at first. I don't know what happened, because I'm not going to sit here and say I watched a lot of challengers like recently, but like he was frying in their group stages, and he was playing well in their scrims when I watched. So I wonder what it was.
Yeah, maybe
got him dropped.
Maybe it's just people were having a hard time working with him or something. Like, I don't know what it is.
Do you know who they picked up?
Capsule, I think, right?
Was it Capsule? I have no idea.
Symbol's in here earlier talking about it. I think it's
Cap. I mean, Cap makes sense. Cap's been really good in challengers. So not surprised.
Yeah, but
Omen tweet about it. It is Capsule. They tweet out that Capsule is replacing Lens in their official account.
Oh shit! There was a bomb threat at the Halo event.
Was there?
The power went out.
Oh, it was power? I'm watching. I've just put up Maniac stream, and they're outside. There's like fire trucks and police fucking lights going on.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, damn. That's scary. Hopefully everything's all right over there. That happened. What event did that happen in COD? That happened in a COD event.
Dallas.
UMG
CDL
Dallas.
We have to make the losers bracket run.
No, and it happened in UMG Philadelphia, my first event ever. There was like there was a threat, and it was snowy. It was cold as fuck outside, and everybody was outside in like 10-degree weather with t-shirts, shorts. Like nobody was prepared to be standing outside for like 3 hours, bro. It was cold as shit.
We have a official Tashi from 343. If you guys know who Tashi is, he's the commissioner of Halo HCS. He tweeted to power issue at the venue. I was looking at Maniac stream earlier. There were no lights on, so I think they either something in that area. There's a lot of other like sporting venues, Arlington Ballpark. The other baseball stadiums down the street, obviously.
Why they got fire trucks with the flashing lights and shit going out? And then
maybe they blew a transformer. Something's on fire. Could be electrical fire somewhere.
Yeah.
When I see the flashing lights and a bunch of people outside a venue, bro, I instantly think bomb threat because it happens so many times.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. No, 100%. I would have thought the same thing. But you guys have any other final thoughts? Pat, you got any final thoughts here with LAG, Thieves? Any thoughts?
No, I mean this series was just a formality, so not much to talk about here.
If you're a Thieves fan, one interesting dynamic right now, if you pull up the standings, is there is a non-zero chance that Thieves are obviously first seed because their map count is really good right now, 11-3. You got one more series coming up. FaZe, Carolina, Optic are three teams that can potentially also get the last seed in the split, and that would be a very interesting winners round one draw for Thieves, no matter how much it slices. Carolina would obviously be preferred because they got a great record against Carolina, but Optic and FaZe round one would be very, very interesting winners.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure. I'm just taking a look here at the bottom of the overall standings, and I mean, Optic's in a tough spot, bro. Same with Miami. They're all just so close to each other, right? I mean, I think the gap is between like Boston and Carolina, like 5 and 6 a little bit there, but 6 through about 10 is like a 30-point gap. right? So it's like if one of these teams go to the major and make a run, like this can get interesting here. Like if one of these teams, like for instance, if Boston, Miami, or Optic, if one of them gets slammed and get bounced out of the tournament early, and then you have like Minnesota or Cloud9 or I don't know, any of these teams make a run, right? Like this major 3 is so important, right? Like you have to perform here at major 3. It's just crunch time now. It's crunch time, and I mean people are fighting for a position at champs, so it's not going to be easy. Right, everybody's gonna be coming with their A game, so it's gonna be close, man. Major 3 is gonna be wild, man. I hope to see some good matches, and hopefully we can get some more game 5s as well. Any thoughts on the standings, guys? While we're taking a look at it right now, any thoughts here?
I think our bottom 4 of the teams aren't going.
Yeah, you might be right. I think maybe the only team that can get out of that slump is maybe Minnesota.
Rocker have a good stage 4 schedule. But they're in a similar boat as C9. They gotta have really good majors to qualify. But they have a good stage 4 schedule.
If Rocker somehow get 8th and knock Optic out, and Kin like gets dropped and then takes their champ spot, that would be crazy. Fucking insane.
Absolute cinema.
So the way for them to do that,
that'd be a movie, bro,
is you get 15 points for every win you get in a tournament. So like hypothetically, if a bunch of those teams in 6th, 7th, and 8th got last, in order to make that 30 points up, you need to get 5th, and then beyond that, to get 45, you get 4th. So realistically, like if you're Cloud9 or Minnesota, you got to make it to Sunday. Top 4 will at least give you a chance going in the last major that if you just outplace another team in that, you'll get more points to them and you'll get in. But it's not impossible, but likely, I don't know.
Yeah, I think if I had a hunch, the game 5s that Rocker have lost this stage are going to come back to bite them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got some big matches tomorrow. Got Vancouver Surge going up against Cloud9. We got the Miami Heretics against the Minnesota Rocker. That's going to be a big matchup just with how close those teams are in the standings. LAG going up against Toronto Ultra. And then Atlanta FaZe versus Vegas. We might see 3 matches here that are a complete wipe here. Right, Vancouver might smoke Cloud9, Toronto might smoke LAG, and Atlanta might smoke Vegas. Even though, granted, Vegas has been looking better. We'll see if they can keep up with Atlanta FaZe tomorrow and see if they can make that a series. But some lopsided matchups tomorrow. We'll see if we can get any upsets. I'll start things off with the first one. Vancouver going up against Cloud9. I got Vancouver Surge 3-0. Who do you got, Pat?
Surge. Yeah. No contest.
Chris?
Surge.
Benjay?
I got Vancouver Surge 3-0.
Sam LaRue?
Same.
Then we got the Miami Heretics going up against the Minnesota Rocker. Listen, I think this might be a Rocker win just for the sole fact that they need this win, right? They're trying to get these points. Like, I don't know. I have a good feeling about Minnesota, and I don't know why. So I'm going to go with Rocker in this one. I can see Minnesota making this a series. I'll go Rocker 3-2. Maybe it goes all the way down to the wire. Maybe another map 5 for Rocker. But who do you got, Pat?
I'm going to go Rocker 2. I think Metals played well last weekend. I think the trend is he's going to play ass this weekend. So I'm going to go Rocker.
Okay. Duarte?
I'm gonna go Heretics. Yeah, Metals didn't have his best series, but Miami's been making solid progress. But if I had to be honest, it's probably going game 5 regardless.
All right. What about you, Benjay?
I mean, I just think if Miami ban like Skyline, which is where all these hardplay maps have been from Rocker this stage, I just think it's gonna be really tough with the map pool. So I got Miami 3-1.
Sam LaRue?
Rocker.
Rocker? You got Rocker too?
Mm-hmm. Can and choose.
All right, now we got LAG going up against Toronto Ultra. I got Toronto Ultra 3-0 in that one. Who do you got, Pat?
Ultra 3-0.
Chris?
Ultra.
Benjay?
Ultra 3-0 DoorDash.
Sam LaRue?
I got Ultra and FaZe both 3-0.
Yep, I got Atlanta FaZe 3-0 and the Vegas Falcons as well. Maybe a 3-1. Maybe if Vegas can squeeze something out there, but I think Atlanta FaZe is taking that one. Who do you got, Pat?
Same.
Chris, Ben?
I got FaZe, but I will say Falcons HP's been good. Heard it's their best game mode. FaZe,
Listen, bro, we got FaZe
HP has been not that good, so we'll see. It could go.
Man. Y'all gotta step it up, bro.
No, Pat, you're actually carrying right now.
I know, man. We can't lose to these guys. We're down by 2.
They actually completely
Here's how
they Kumaz, bro. Here's Kumaz. Does anyone here watch hockey? People in chat will understand that's what make this analogy.
No.
Bro, it's like Breaking Point gets last change all the time, bro. They get to see our fucking picks, and then they can pick whatever they want based on our picks. They actually just cheese us. They have last change like every period. Some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, we
honestly.
did do community questions today in the community. Thank you to everybody who came in and asked some good questions. Listen, I scrolled through this. There's a lot of bullshit. I mean, people asking about a fridge giveaway, people talking about grandmas in here. I mean, dude, can we get some serious fucking questions, guys? I mean, what the fuck? Here's Breaking Point coming in. So here's the Breaking Point predictions.
Carrying.
Pat's carrying us right now. He's carrying. I mean, to be fair, we lost last stage, right?
Yes,
And
because
I was-
Roll me down
they
two.
lied. We were up like 15 going into the major, and then we somehow lost by 15 or something.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think we need to get a recount. I think there's some fraud going on in there. It's all good though.
Breaking
Yeah.
Point lied.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think we're getting Skumads. I said it. Breaking Point Skumads on us. It is what it is.
What's an attack rap video, brother? I don't give a fuck.
ZooMaa rug pulled the fridge.
I rug pulled the fridge. I scammed all of you. Nobody's getting a fridge. I'm actually using the fridge right now. It's in my kitchen right now. I filled it up with drinks and
What do you
shit.
mean? I have it right here.
Oh, my bad. Never mind. I gave it to the slay. Never mind, man. I gave it a pat. This is a interesting question coming in from Look At It's All Skill. We'll scroll by that one. Seeing how Neptune and Super have come in and surprised everyone, what are the odds that going forward teams will look more towards challenger players when selecting their rosters? Not just talking about teams that are struggling, but also good/better teams that need a change. What do you guys think?
They not already pick up players from challengers? I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what they're doing, right?
Yeah, they kind of already do.
I mean,
that.
I
Where
just,
else
I
are
just
the players
think,
coming from?
I just think that, I mean, I know what he means. I just think that, like, when it comes to recycling talent in the league that has been up and down at this point, like, you build your team around, like, high-tier challenger players, and then maybe you throw in somebody there. Because I feel like usually the way these teams get built is they build around, you know, the older guys, and then they bring in the talent afterwards. Like, and I feel like it's ass backwards at this point because a lot of these people, they've kind of already shown what they've got. You're not going to be like, and people still act surprised when, you know, they fail to perform and they get replaced later in the seasons.
Yeah, we also see ZooMaa. Just a thought, but I was playing Demolition early and got it thinking how fun it would be to see pros play this. So the question is, why not Demolition or a mode similar to it? Knowing everyone wants a third mode, why can't they go out of their way and be creative and make it? I mean, Demolition's what? That's some MW2 shit, some old MW2 shit.
Yeah, I mean, demo was fun, dude. Like,
It was fun.
I mean, demo's still
the
kind of
overtime-
control-y in a way.
The
It's
overtime rules is why it's not played, I think. Right? Pat?
overtime
Is
rules
it-
weren't that bad. You're thinking sabotage.
thinking
Overtime was
Sabo.
just
Oh,
whoever had the most
Sabo.
skills got defense.
Yeah, Sabo could have
Isn't, like,
40-minute
worth-
overtimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, demo is like, I mean, it's just it's kind of still controlled though, because you have a favorite bomb site, a lot of spawn trapping, you don't ever flip. It's just you just don't have
Demo
lives.
was control before control.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just it would feel similar, I think.
But I actually think unlimited lives and I'd be curious what unlimited lives would do in control.
Yeah, unlimited
What,
lives would be fun, but
and
I
just
think
make it,
also
like, what, a time limit? Just give the rounds like a time limit.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that would play, because the lives do make things interesting from time to time.
Yeah, it definitely slows it down a little bit with lives, right? Slows the game
Yeah.
down.
It also adds a different dynamic on how to play. Like if you have infinite lives, you could just do dumb shit with
Yeah.
time. Whereas like
Yeah, but
if
it'll-
you're just funneling and dying across them.
But also
Yeah.
with the way these maps are designed, how like there's a severe bad side and spawn trapping is like huge. Like lives play into that dynamic and make it like worse in that aspect. Whereas if like lives were not that big of a deal, yeah, you can spawn trap. That's going to buy you time, but it's not going to be the end all be all where people come like it's like unwinnable because of lives.
I guess honestly, thinking about it, demo probably wouldn't work with trophy systems though. Like for demo to work, bro, you had to actually have clutch nades, or the game. Like sometimes, bro, like sometimes game would just extend based on like having clutch nades, getting someone off defusing a bomb. Like that was part of the strategy. The trophies
Back in the
would kinda
day, there was
stop
no
that
flak
completely.
jacket. There was no flak jacket, right? In demo.
Yeah,
back in
do
the day.
do you not remember throwing like scrapyard fucking nades onto B bomb? Like when people were defusing, you're coming out of your fucking spawn building, just chucking
Yeah.
insects.
Yeah. What else do we got here? Why do we as a community overreact so often? It's unlike any other form of competition. There has to be a reason for it. An example, people saying Ultra is a better team than Thieves based on a single match played today. LOL.
What, dude?
I don't think we do that, but there's definitely people in the community. But I think those guys are just rage baiting.
You think so? You think
Yeah,
they're rage
especially when it
baiting
comes
Duarte?
down, especially when it comes down to like making comparisons, usually with FaZe or Optic. Like people are just rage baiting.
If Ben replaced Abizi on FaZe, do you think they would still place top 6?
No, next question. Jesus.
I don't know, Ben. I seen some good gameplay from you.
Hell no.
All right, absolutely.
They wouldn't even get in the venue. It'd be like a force field outside. Ben couldn't get in.
More specific question for you. Why did you not stay on FaZe going into franchising a team with the terrorist cell and one of Major Maniac and Prisa? Because they already had their team formed. I mean, those guys already talked to each other. You know, their team was already formed. I was out of there. You know, I had to go and find something. And I think at the time I was talking to Dallas Empire and New York. Those were like the two teams I was talking to the most. There were some other teams I was talking to, but they were kind of shit. So I wasn't really interested. But yeah, bro, everything changed. When I went from FaZe Clan to Atlanta FaZe, ownership changed, everything changed. It wasn't really like the same people I was used to talking with at FaZe Clan. So yeah, basically I got fucking dropped, basically. Yeah, it's over for me. MC dropped me, my son. Is it possible for Miami to get Snoopy this offseason? And would the addition of Snoop push them to the next level to be a top 4 contender? What do you think?
It could. If that's something they want to do. That'd be a good roster.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if Boston was open to selling him.
I would be shocked.
I mean, dude, we've talked about it. Like that whole not scandal, but that whole thing that whole thing that happened with Boston last year. Like, I mean, we didn't even know if they were going to be an org. You know, they've obviously had money troubles. I think there's an opportunity where this Miami team wants to put up some cash for Snoopy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Boston takes that influx of cash and goes for a rebuild. It's not even like they have to rebuild. They just have to find another SMG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be cool though to see Snoopy there. But I personally think there's no shot Boston get rid of him. But who knows, right? You never know. Money talks. How many more years do y'all think the CDL has before either a CWL system is implemented or a new league altogether is created? What do you guys think?
Well, the problem with this one is we don't know with the team participation agreement. One, it was when they re-announced they re-signed it. We don't know much longer they re-signed it for. And two, we don't know what the exit clause is like that in that deal. I would say it wouldn't surprise me in the next couple of years we transition back to an old model. But
listen,
I just
heard
don't know
some
what the
shit,
TPA.
bro. I heard some shit.
What'd you hear? What'd you hear, Tom?
I'm hearing that 2 franchise teams might be selling at the end of the year, and the 2 teams buying in are both Saudi teams.
So Twisted Minds and somebody else is what you're saying?
I don't know. I don't know who those Saudi teams are. I don't know. I'm just
I
telling
know the
you.
third one would be because Twisted Minds is Saudi, but like I don't know who the.
What I don't understand though is like this kind of already happened, right? Like when the CDL announced that they are refunding and removing the buy-in fees. Like to me, that was kind of this. That was what the CDL was. Like, so I think we kind of already are. We're not, the format's not there yet, and we're not in the open ecosystem yet. But like, it's no longer a requirement to have $25 million buy-in to get a franchise tag. It's just like there's only 12 teams that have the pre-existing ones. So I don't know. I think either way, this format is not sustainable. Like, and it's not pro growth either. So I don't know. I feel like it has to happen. Like it happened with Overwatch. I think it's just a ticking time bomb.
I just think, and we all agree. I think slowly transitioning or including a format where there's more pro teams playing amateur teams will drive more amateur participation and player participation, which will drive viewership and event attendance.
It's not even about
from the bottom up of the pyramid.
It's strictly about new faces, new players coming to wanting to play COD. Like that is the only thing that matters right now. Like if I'm the CDL, the only thing I care about is that the number of new people that are just interested in competitive Call of Duty at a young age is falling off a cliff drastically from
also the age restriction. The age restriction doesn't help.
So are you saying that from an Activision perspective or a CDL perspective? Because I could also say that some of that might just be Call of Duty. Yeah, some of that could also just be Call of Duty fatigue in general, like arena shooter fatigue.
But fatigue is sure, but that's irrelevant in the sense of like if there is money and opportunity for a young player that has aspiring dreams to be a professional, like they're gonna pick a game that has opportunity. There is no opportunity for young players for Call of Duty right now. None.
I agree.
You never pick Call of Duty. Even if you're godlike at Call of Duty, you still go to another game because there's no opportunity here.
Hook did it with Halo until he was back.
I have 2 thoughts. One is, again, pro-am content. The second thing is none of the publishers right now are really wading up heavy enough into what I think is the next frontier in esports, which is collegiate esports. You know, I recently, a couple of weeks ago, went to a talk at a sports analytic conference at OSU, and I talked with a lot of esport folks in the Big Ten, and there's a lot of really interesting grassroots teams in almost every single tile that you can think of, but there's really no publisher support within those scenes. I think a lot of that is because in the college sports in general is very complex, a lot of stakeholders. But I think for Activision, I think with their titles, Overwatch is especially popular at the college level. I think getting involved with the conferences and starting there and building something would be a really interesting way to get people involved. We've already seen with Dan Gossi that there's a funnel. There's a lot of former COD professionals who are playing collegiate esports via the CCL. I think that could be a market that if Activision invests into or gets involved in could be really interesting.
I think collegiate esports is cool, but like ask yourself why so many people started participating in collegiate esports. It's because there's no opportunity in the CDL.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
You might as well go to school and get a degree, right? You might as well get a degree than do nothing.
Bro, people who like got kicked out of the CDL and were on the verge of quitting was like, okay, there's an opportunity to go to the college COD. But it's not like that's the grassroots fucking introduction to the scene. And collegiate is still like, that's college age, bro. We need to be talking like 15, 16, like the new faces, the new age kids that are still playing Call of Duty. There is no opportunity for them in competitive COD. And that is a huge problem that I think is going to be realized in a couple years.
Well, so that's a question to Daniel and to the owners. Like, someone somewhere has had to have brought up in the last 6 years, why don't we lower the age of participation? I would love to know the official reason as to why they haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, if they can at all.
Yep. One more question. I figure we can end on this one. This is an interesting question. If Dashy and Shotzzy are undroppable, style of players would fit into their to that would unlock what the fuck? Both of them. Optic have been at their highest when both players are at their peak. Who would you guys put with Shotzzy and Dashy?
Bro, the problem with listen, what does Optic want to be, bro? Because if they want to be Atlanta FaZe, I'm gonna be honest, and you guys roasted me, I just don't think it's gonna happen with this duo. The problem is that neither of those players are a primary leader. Neither of them are really going to set a good enough culture. And so a player like Ken or a player like Zach would be the type of player they want. Unfortunately, they didn't get one of them because one of them went to Optic and the other guy they fucking dropped. So yeah, I don't know really.
I'm
what
not
else
even gonna lie. Ben just cooked so bad.
Benjay.
Like, I don't know what you want to do here with both those guys.
Benjay.
Listen, if Brandon or Ann wants to step up and be that guy and be that leader, then yeah, you can make it work and you should surround them with talent. Whoever really talented players will figure it out. But I think that team just doesn't have the leadership or the know-it-all to win consistently.
Ben just cooked.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Benjay. I feel like for the look at Ben, he's so happy when we agree with him.
He's like, yeah, I did that shit.
Finally, thank you.
No, because I got cooked. I made a version of this take a week ago, and you guys cooked me for it. But I'm glad you come around.
Did we?
You see, but Ben, when you come concise and to the point, and you bring us A to B real quick, bam, done. I'm on board.
I like
you know
that.
What I mean,
Benjay.
Ben, there's no hoops.
like
There's
that.
no A to F. We're A to B in 10 seconds, and I'm on board.
But the guy in the chat who said Dash and Shotzi's never going to work. Motherfucker, it worked last
champs.
year. They won multiple events, including champs.
Yeah.
How many events did they won together?
Because a player like Ken, Zach, and Sam, you can probably touch on this. They're the type of players, the engine of the team. Emotionally, they make sure everybody's showing up on time. If people are sucking, they're playing eights. They make sure people are watching VOD. They're calling in game. They're creating strats. Like, it's all of the little things that I just don't know if Ann or Brandon have in their bag. Maybe they can. Maybe they're working on it. Maybe they're trying to figure it out now as a self-reflection of their situation. But I think that's the void and what's missing from Optic and why they'll never be an Atlanta FaZe style of team.
I don't think they want to. I mean, no one's going to replicate that, bro. Everyone needs to be their own identity and their own team.
Brandon's the one that evolved, bro. He evolved into his current play style, and he's got to evolve even further. That guy has it. He's just got to figure it the fuck out. I know Brandon. He can do it. He's got to dig deep. I don't know.
Hey, one thing Optic doesn't lack is talent, right? At least they got the talent.
Yeah.
Like, there's some teams that just don't even have talent, which like concerns me, right? Even when we're going over Stanley's roster changes or shit's going down. I mean, you know, I say the same thing, right? Sometimes
I think it's on both of them, Chris, too. By the way, sorry, Tom.
Yeah, I know. No, it definitely is. I'm just gassing it. I just like. Whenever I talk to Brandon, I can tell he's like, bro, Brandon, in terms of like his mentality, and this is probably why him and Damon get along so much, is like they both have a very good fundamental understanding of like COD and like the nuances of it. It's just hard for them to kind of articulate it and like basically push it like help other people understand it and like see that vision.
I mean that just circles straight back to Ben's opening point.
It's they're both very similar in that aspect in terms of like personalities.
I'm not going to be a dick when I say this, so I'm sure it'll get taken the wrong way. But then I wake up early in the morning, and I see that certain players are streaming late night. Like I just think outside the game, there are things from a leadership perspective they can be doing better, so they're more consistent from day to day. I just think their approach is, you can still win events that way. There's enough talent to like figure it out. I just think if they want to be consistently good, I don't think they're doing all the little things as players to get there. I think Ken would have helped them do it. Yeah, I understand why you dropped him. He's dropping a 0.8 or less. Now he's not there. One of those two needs to step up. That's just how it is.
You want to give him a bedtime, Benjay?
Wait, no, there was a clip. There was a clip.
Listen, if you're gonna be up late night, you better be attentive and 110% for fucking scrims. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad take, chat. I mean, I see some people.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure. Well, here's the thing.
Hold on, it's the same shit in the NBA. What's the NBA players talk about campaign? If you're out late night at the club, you better be at shoot around fucking hitting your shots.
Okay, it's different between him being at the club and him being at home.
You guys remember that
playing
Kobe
a video
anecdote?
game? Let's be honest.
Where he was like, one of his teammates would ask him to go out to the club, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll come with you, but you're coming with me at 4:30 to shoot around where you're supposed to be there." He's like, "You still want to go out?"
Hold on.
You're an adult. You can do what you want with your life, but the stuff that the team requires.
He was also like, bro. There was a clip I think of Scump saying like, "Oh yeah, people were like grilling them for playing Warzone." And be like, "Oh, dude, they're playing Warzone." That's not going to affect them. First off, if you're talking about yesterday, he was on late because I was on and I had a stream pulled up, bro. All they're doing today for the most part, from what I'm pretty sure with match days, they just warm up teams. So if he had a scheduled warm up for one of the teams that played later in the day, there's nothing wrong with him being fucking up. Like as long as he's there, like bro, you're just making assumptions. Like let's be honest here, bro.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. He's an adult. He can live his life for the most part how he wants. Bro. But again, if you're going to, in my eyes, if you're going to stay up late night, whatever, that's your decision. But if you pull up to that warm up and you're going 70%,
it's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
I don't know if that's the case.
Wait,
I don't know if that's the case.
Are you talking about somebody in particular?
No. Let me finish my point real quick, please.
Talking about Brandon.
Let me finish my point.
Oh, he's talking about Brandon?
I'm not assuming. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hearing based on rumors that he's not trying scrims. That's not where this is going. What I'm saying is that there's just not the kind of stuff that you're going to see from other players in the league. I just think if they want to get out of this hole that they're in, they got to become more seasoned professionals. And there's little things you got to do in game and out of game. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can live his life.
I get it, Ben, but don't deep it. Don't deep it like that.
This is irrelevant to what Ben's talking about, but like, it just made me think about it, bro. Why is the scrim schedule so early, bro?
That's when they play matches. What?
No, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't have to be like the. No, they don't. They play at 3 p.m.
No, they play at 12:30 at events. What are you talking about?
Early. Don't they start practice at like? They start practice at like 11 a.m. Pacific.
They start practice at 2:30 and matches are at 3. It's basically the same fucking time.
That's not early.
Wait. When I was playing, bro.
You want them to have no life at night?
When I was playing, bro, we were scrimming at 10 a.m. fucking Pacific time.
Damn.
Did it change? That's what it was in Modern Warfare 19, bro.
Actually, might be right. Actually, might be right.
It did. They shifted it. They shifted it.
Bro, the only thing I'm saying is the last thing I ever want to do is wake up and play COD right away, bro. That was just me personally. I loved the scrim schedule of 5 p.m. to like 1 a.m. or whatever it used to be when it was late night.
You know the problem with that
Halo still does it, bro.
You know what the problem with that schedule is?
No, there's not a problem with the schedule.
No, there are two problems I foresee with that schedule and why they shifted away from it. Because Tom knows, and Austin, I don't know if Austin's in the chat. Austin and I had this conversation for fucking 6 years about this shit.
Bro, if you try and tell me it's about going out at night, I'm going to lose full. Because there is less than 1% of the players who ever fucking went out anywhere at night. And if the mentality was...
Ben just went on a tirade about Brandon streaming late and staying out, and then is now advocating for a later scrim, earlier scrim so they could go out.
No, so my thing is this. It's one is you want to scrim around the time that you are playing real matches, which
I agree with that.
Events now is between 12:30 to like 7, which is basically where they're scrimming right now. The second thing,
that is let me finish, please. Because that was never a thing for 15 years. I don't know why that magically became a thing.
What's the downside of that? Why wouldn't you want to
make sure your entire... What's the upside? It changes nothing.
Your entire schedule is centered around where you make fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars. aka fucking
Bro,
playing good at
bro,
events.
I can show up at any time of day and play at the same level regardless.
Sure, but like
we're playing COD.
I would argue that having your fucking
this isn't
schedule angled around scrims is fucking
professional.
important.
Yeah, no, I agree with
have
Ben because you need
rested.
it helps it helps you keep like your discipline too of like waking up at those times. So that way, like when you do travel to tournaments, you're not waking up at weird hours. So I don't think that's a problem.
And the second thing is, look, these are not kids.
Dude,
a lot of these players.
Fix your sleep schedule.
Listen, a lot of these players are in their 20s. Some of them are starting to get in their late 20s. Look, I'm not saying they want to go out at night, but they have significant others. They have family. Like giving them an ability to manage their schedule as adults and be able to live a semi-decent life and not have to be on playing COD from fucking 5 to 1 a.m. and not be able to do stuff is going to lead to ideally more happiness and people feeling more engaged with what they need to do as a teammate. Like I just see what the wisdom and why the schedule is right now.
Not me. I got the DJ schedule.
Hearing, bro?
I mean, you get good stuff on that DJ schedule, so I'll do that.
I have to.
Chris is running 22 on a DJ schedule, bro.
Oh, that's not happening. That's cap.
Ben wants happiness in this world.
22 and a half, bro.
That's where I'm at. Ern. I don't know. I don't know where Tom went.
Players are just soft now. That's all it is.
It's not a soft issue though. It's just being smart.
It is. There's a lot that's a soft issue nowadays.
You haven't given a
run
good,
now, Showtime.
Hold on, time out. You haven't given a good argument why the old schedule is better.
I'm saying it doesn't matter.
Oh man!
First off, it was better because it worked for 15 years and there was no issue with it. And then all of a sudden, fucking coaches come along. That there's like 2 coaches in the league that want to go out clubbing at night, and so they go, "Yo, we should move the fucking scrim schedule to 10 a.m." That is literally what happened. It wasn't fucking, oh, players will be peak performance and will be. I'm telling you what actually happened and why it was changed. Like I was actually there when the conversation started. It was 2 fucking people who actually fucking cared to go out at night.
Who was it?
And actually were bitching about
Name
this,
names.
bro. Bro, I know Brian Saint was one. And who was the fucking other, bro?
Yeah, Brian's a raver, bro.
Who goes to raves? Who goes to
Brian
raves?
Brian used to go to raves, bro. Like
Wait,
it was definitely Brian.
Pat? Who did you team with? Silly. Was it Silly?
No, it wasn't my team. My bro, we were in LA. We didn't want to fucking wake up at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
I used to wake up at 10 a.m. and make eye contact with Joey Nubsy and spawning for scrims, bro.
Bro, it was wake up at 9 and go to the venue or the office and then play. And it's like, dude, I still got crust in my eyes. I'm playing on a Dallas server from LA. Like
1 p.m. was too
it
early.
was horrible.
2:30 is the right balance because they figured out it's the right time where you get some team activity
Guys,
in the morning.
It's not about waking up at 9. It's about waking up and then having to fucking call out and play COD. Bro, I don't care what job I'm doing. I don't want to fucking at 9 a.m. fresh off a wake up just sit there and then have to fucking scream call outs nonstop.
Well, it's not.
To be fair, that's also only a couple teams.
Wait, chat's got to be tweaking, bro. There's probably so many of them here that work like morning jobs, and they're like, "Wait, you guys are bitching about 10 a.m."
Yeah, people
bro, there's probably people in chat that are waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, 100%. There's people in here.
This conversation's terrible.
That's all relative, bro. If you're arguing that, you're delusional because it doesn't matter what time you're waking up if you're doing the same shit. If I'm waking up at fucking
performance coaches,
if I'm waking up at 4 p.m.
Pat,
hypothetically, but I'm working from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. It's the same shit, bro. Time of day is so relative.
Completely and utterly disagree with.
I don't know about that, bro. Because like, okay, as a person that has a degenerate schedule, even if I get 8 hours of sleep, if I go to bed at like, let's say 5, or if I go to bed at like fucking 4 a.m. and go to bed and wake up after 8 hours of sleep, I feel worse than if I did that in the morning with 8 hours of sleep. I don't know what it is, but it 100% is not true, Pat.
Boys, circadian rhythm is very like to having like.
We're talking about circadian rhythm. Tom, run the outro.
If you're on your own consistent schedule, it wouldn't change.
That's the fucking point of this.
Shout out to Gersh doing a phenomenal job on socials. Benjay hit the putt.
Hit the damn pump, Benjay. Hit the damn pump.
I heard circadian rhythm, bro. It's time to go.
I don't even know what that means. What the fuck is that?
It's how you're sleeping.
Bro, you should look into it. It's important, bro.
I should look into it.
It's not just sleep. It's your entire like,
yeah, it's
cycle.
sugmedium rhythm.
That was real fucking mature, Chris. I gotta grab my putter.
Go get your putter, man, please.
Go get your putter, Benjay. Maron. What's wrong with this guy? You know what I mean?
Chris tried to hit a Sugma joke in circadian rhythm.
I got rain kids to bully, man. Let's fucking get this going.
Yeah, wait, you got what?
Ranked kids to bully.
Oh, you got ranked kids to bully. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know what you were saying.
Tom, I'll be grand champ in like a month.
I
Give me
like
some
that.
time.
Sam, I love that. Sam, I was actually very impressed with your
Give me
Rocket
some
League
time,
today,
Tom.
Sam. I was very
I
impressed.
was asked, but I appreciate it. You're a good friend.
Yeah, but Sam, the thing is you haven't even played 20. Oh, Ben J just missed the ball. He just missed the ball. Sit your ass down.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know he was punting. I just see the ball just rolling. He just fucking missed it.
Just here. Oh, dude.
He missed it. Oh no, he hit that. He barely hit that though. He actually missed
No,
it.
he missed that.
He missed it.
He
And it
missed
rolled
that.
down. He missed it. And it rolled down into it.
Ah, jeez.
That doesn't count. Look, he's going for it again because he's pissed now. You know.
Oh man.
Imagine the same for a third time in a row. Can he sink the putt? That was terrible. That's oh man, it's just
Ben,
collapsing.
sit down, bro.
It's just-
Ben, sit down, bro.
Dude,
Oh,
he's going for it
God.
again. Too. He's got no slippers on today. He's in his socks
It's the
today.
Tom, it's the circadian rhythm. He didn't sleep well.
It's the circadian rhythm, whatever the fuck that is.
You guys remember when Ben said you were gonna be bad at Call of Duty if you lived in Vancouver because of the weather?
L rhythm. No warm-up putts. GG's. That's why you got to practice.
All right,
Okay,
man.
Ben.
Time you're on the show. run the
NT Ben.
outro.
Guys, good try, Ben. Nice try, Ben. But guys, that's gonna do it for us on the flank. I know some of the matches were kind of a snooze today. Hopefully, we get some better ones tomorrow. Actually, there's some lopsided ones tomorrow too. So we'll see how it plays out. But nonetheless, we had a good show. I appreciate everybody who tuned in and watched. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Go to anchor.fm/theflank. Check out audio says Ron, and go follow at the flank on Twitter. Guys doing a phenomenal job running socials per usual. ZooMaa.gg for the merch. And of course, make sure to join the community on X. It's spotlighted to the top of the flank Twitter, top of my Twitter. So make sure to join the ZMF community. Thank you guys so much. Take care, brush your hair. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy, guys. Later, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Later.